Yes, Mark, you're still relevant. Hello, everybody. Where am I? Hello? I'm right here. Hello? Hello? Hello, hello? I yoinked forced. You did yoink forced. You know what? Since my model's not showing up, look how pretty that cafe is. I am so proud of it. By the way, I did all that with my hands, my little baby bat hands. I drew that. I did all that for you. And it's nice outside. Look at it. I gotta clean my... gotta wipe myself off here. I... Go on. Where am I? Show me. Me. Show me. Wah. Nope. Ah, wait, there I was. Shit. That was weird. Anyway, why am I so big? Hello? Hi. Why am I so big? What happened? What is... the fuck is happening? Who? Whatever. Here I am. That was weird. Anyway, how you guys doing? How you guys doing this morning? Or afternoon? Giant the Batman. Yes, I was giant. I was big. Alright, let me catch up with chat real quick. Support smaller streamers. Yeah, we gotta support smaller streamers. Follow the Markiplier. Glad y'all are shouting out small content creators. Markiplier does good work. Hopefully someday it gets a following. I love the joke. The joke is great. Also, hello, Claudion. How are you doing? I see. I just realized Amy wants me small immediately. Amy said small bat, and I said okay. Small. Eat me. Hello. I am small. Thank God I don't have a voice to go with this, because that would get annoying real quick. Just snarfed a quesadilla. A quesadilla? Of course. Quesadillas are yummy. I like making quesadillas. I've learned a lot about Mexican cuisine since taking Solgard as my husband. He has Mexican heritage. Ugh. Which Solgard, I guess, makes sense then. Because Solgards are sun bears. It makes sense if you know. That's all I'm gonna say. But welcome in, everybody. I am glad to see you all today. And we're going to be doing some world building. Specifically, we're going to be continuing our venture with the world building guidebook that I found about a month ago. And I've been reading to you guys ever since. Because it's really interesting. The last time we were reading it, we were covering the magic system. And it was asking a lot of questions. It was asking a lot of questions regarding the magic system in the world that we could be building. So I'm not gonna front with you. I don't fuck with magic systems. I don't usually mess with magic. I don't know why. It's just... magic to me, I treat it kind of like how Lord of the Rings treats it. It's rare, it's nebulous, and then no one really knows how the fuck it works. And very rarely do people on the world that I have made already, rarely do they know how to use it either, because that's a lost art. And I mostly lean into, like, spirituality more than I do actual just straight up magic. Like, for instance, in my old world, not the world we're currently working on, for my D&D campaign, but my first world, called Kana. On this world, the way magic works is through, alteration of the self. When the bat is small. Wah.
Look at me, I'm small. Now everyone's gonna take me way more seriously.
But yeah, on Kana, I don't really fuck with magic. I do it in a spiritual sense. Uh, my one game, they met the ghost of the dude who invented Magic Missile in the Second Age, so that gave me a chance to develop a fun magic history for the setting. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, magic does have a history. Everything has a history, and if you're adding in a new aspect of culture, you have to think of its history as well and how it affected that culture, which is what we're going to be talking about today. So, like I said, Kana, I didn't have to do any of this. I didn't worry about it. I didn't think about it because I don't fuck with magic. Because I'm dumb. But this iteration of a world that I'm creating called Eldrig, well, I guess the continent is called Eldrig, and then, the people on the continent calls the world Eldrig because for the longest time it was the only world they knew. Whoa!
Himi! Do-do-do, boo-doo, ba-ba-da, ba-da, 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 ba-ba-da.
Welcome in, Raiders! Hemi, shout yourself out. Do it. You won't. Do it. Do it. Shout yourself out, Hemi. Do it. But welcome in, Raiders! I am small. Hold on, wait, let me...
Hi, can I help you?
Wow. Here, I will do it then. Boop! Also, for raids, I want to start doing this.
Why though? Because why?
Boop.
I'm cringe.
Wah!
Hi,
Amy!
Hello.
Well,
oh my god!
You doing okay?
No! I just saw your chat. I didn't realize you joined the call.
Yeah, you know I like spooking people.
Flippy jump scare. Alright, Amy, I have put you down. I've put you down on my list so that I don't forget you. But yes, welcome in, Raiders. For those of you who do not know me, I am Desmond Dracula, and I'm a vampire bat butler. I'm also known as a battler. I go by he, him pronouns, and I like to draw as well as roleplay on Wednesdays. I also play a variety of games from RPGs to roguelikes. Yes, rawr. And today, it is Wednesday, my dudes, so we're talking about worlds and world building. We're about to start, actually getting into the meat of it here in a moment. I'm just explaining that I don't fuck with magic. It's hard. Magic systems are hard. Like, I don't like dubious magic systems where you don't know the, logistics of it. I like hard- this sounds gross. I like hard- no! Gil! Oh, I see.
Yay!
Why did you want Usagi to go after you? Alright, well, I guess I'll do it again. Welcome in, Raiders. For those of you who do not know me, I am Desmond Dracula. I'm a vampire bat butler, also known as a battler. I go by he, him pronouns, and I like to draw as well as world build on Wednesdays. Wow, 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 wow. And today it is Wednesday. But yes, because I enjoy the pain, sir! Con! Hello, Con. How you doing? Magic systems can be anxiety-inducing, which is why I tried to keep my magic system as straightforward as possible. Yeah, I'm editing how the D&D magic system works for my new world. Because I realize magic is half the fun. And baking a cat a cake. Aww. Oh, they're fucking cute.
Also, I told her happy birthday. I hope she has a good birthday.
Desmond meets pets. What? No, Usagi, we pet you too. You're adorable. Pet, pet, pet. Yeah, let's... Ooh. Because you deserve it. Yeah, see? You deserve pets. And to pet the girl. So we're gonna hop on over to the art. Oh, did it fuck up on every single area? Oh, that's not fun. Shrink the boy. Hello, boy. Okay, give me just a second. I'm gonna go back to little mode in just a moment. I just want to make sure that my box fits me. Yes. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Let's go back to baby mode. Oh god. Oh god, my head's so big. Fug. Ugh.
Hello.
I like how I'm just kind of like peeking over the side like, hi. Hi, hello, how are you? There we go. I wanted to make sure my box was correctly settled. Let me do that for over here too. See, why did it fuck up like that? I don't understand. I don't understand, bitch. There we go. Nope. There we go. Alright. Prop him back over here. I did it. I fixed it. Don't worry, guys. It is fixed. Bot is still broken. Wow. Oh, on Discord? That sounds about right. Welp. Oh, wait. Maybe I need to log into it. So it because I changed my name, maybe it doesn't know? I don't know. I'm just gonna log in anyway, and hope that it, authorize. Come on now. Legacy notifications are deprecated and will be removed on October 24th. Huh. Okay, so I think... Huh. I see. I know why it's broken. I know why it's broken. Don't worry. It's fixed now. Teehee. I fixed it. Don't worry, guys. It's cause it's literally because the bot didn't have the extra D to go with. So it's like, it started crying at me and I'm like, it's not my, what? But there we go. Everything should be in order now. Yeah. Alright, cool, cool, cool.
I fixed it.
Have you not changed over the extra D? I did not. Oh no, Himi! I'm sorry your PC blue screen. I hope everything's okay. But yeah, the little bat is dumb. Also, have a good alert, Cosma. Have a good Shweebies. But don't worry, I fixed it. So after today, you guys should be getting the notifications. Here, I'm gonna also post it in the Discord. There we go. Now everyone knows we're live. It is everywhere.
Oh, hi, Kibby. Whoa. No, Cecil! You cannot have my tea!
Cecil wants my tea.
Zipper! Hello. Ow.
You always got a plan for the extra D. Of course, of course. How could I forget? Recently turned on XMP mode. Although I am good, Zebber. I hope you're doing good too. I am getting ready for World Building Wednesday, my dude. Let me just open the notepad that we were using to discuss the magic system. And then I'm gonna pull up the book. Where is my notepad? Where's my notepad? Strangles. There it is. Alright, so don't worry about all this stuff. That was for me. Because I am working on my magic system. But we were right here last time. Whenever we were covering this stuff. You hit 100k points? Ryza! I have so many things. I have so many redeems you could do. Oh, whoops. I just messed something up. You're being evil. Oh, you redeemed a head pat. I see. Oh no, I don't see it. Oh, it's right up there. I'm dumb. Yeah, I was wrestling with my stupid bot.
Let's get a little head pat. Pet the baby.
Now, since I'm so small, you could redeem everything, at least twice. Since I'm so small, will the hand be really big? Like that? I think so. I think the hand will be pretty big. Because I am small. There we go. Alright, where's my book? Book! Book! Where's my book? Here it is. Book. World Building. Essential World Building. There it is. Alrighty. Not everything twice as your bust art piece redeem is 60. Oh, that's right. You would need 120. But still, you could redeem that once and then everything else like 3 times. Alright. Where is the... There it is. So, when we were covering the elemental system a few weeks ago, I wrote down everything that this book showed me. Now you lurk and get some foods. Of course, go get some foods. But I've also since learned that apparently there's something in the back. Ow. There's a lot of stuff in the back called a worksheet. So I'm going to remember the page I'm on, which is 38, and I'm going to go to the very back here. I'm going to scroll. We're scrolling. Oh, there's so many white blank pages. Uh-oh. What does that mean? Did it not load? Uh-oh, did it not load all the way? Oh no, that's bad. Alright. I have found the worksheets, though, which is really interesting. There's a lot, too. Holy shit. Okay, so most of the book is worksheets. And it starts at 69. And it's just a recourse of what we've already got over. Interesting. Nice. Hee funny. It's like the sex number. But since it's only a few dozen pages, I think I'll cover that whenever we are done looking at all this stuff. So we're gonna go back to sources of magic. This is me organizing it a bit more. Elemental, weather, psychic, summoning, like summoning demons. Holy, which is divine power. Invocation, which here it's called something else. Where is it? Oh, right, I'm splitting up witchcraft, because witchcraft doesn't feel like a specific magic. It just feels like a combination of. Although, I guess, quote-unquote, witchcraft would be a Harry Potter thing, because it's performing magic by using spells, potions, and wands. But to be fair, any magic system could use any portion of those. I don't know, it feels a little too niche to me. Not to mention witchcraft is rooted in a more religious context. And I am not okay. I typically don't categorize stuff by that kind of thing. Especially for fictional settings. Like, for example, there is... there is a class in D&D. It's a magic class. Hard magic system. Yes, I do also prefer hard magic systems. But there is a D&D class called a druid. And there's also a D&D class called a monk. And those both kind of put me on edge. I don't know, it feels appropriative? Because druid was just like a shamanistic leader of the Celts. Druids were pretty much like, they were like the religious leaders. And I was like, well, they didn't do anything that D&D says they do. It's just a little awkward because it feels a bit more appropriative. Meanwhile, stuff like a wizard, warlock, that is fictional through and through, even from its origin point, with its English or European roots. The word and the connotation of a wizard and a warlock are kind of fictional. Not so much maybe the word mage, but wizard, yeah, it doesn't have as many, I guess, cultural icons, at least in my brain. Same thing with the word monk. When I think of a monk, my brain goes European again. It thinks of a bowl-cut hair guy who is living in a monastery all his life. Probably, I don't know, hanging out with his other bros and praying to Jesus all day. But they mean monk in the wuxia sense, which has to do with a Chinese, like, inspired martial artist. And once again, it feels a little too specifically cultured, if that makes sense. So I'm like, no, I don't want to use the term monk. Which is why I changed my classes quite a bit. I changed a lot of the names, and I changed how they work. So I'm going about that with magic the exact same way. Like, for instance, if this had the list of quote-unquote voodoo magic, which is actually not African-inspired, it's actually European. It's European magic system. It was a European woman's practice when they thought it's what Africans did, if that makes sense. The whole, like, quote-unquote voodoo with the doll and all that, the little voodoo dolls or whatever, that's not real. That's not how it actually works. What they're thinking of is something called voodoo, I think it's pronounced, voodoo. And it's just a shamanistic practice of worshipping and giving reverence to spirits. It's an animistic religion, and that's it. The term voodoo was just a bastardization of it, and then the understanding of a voodoo doll, or originally called a poppet, was a later addition through, like, the, I guess, biased lenses of a European eye, specifically Puritans, who came to the Americas recently, in the time frame at least. The term monk can refer to religious practitioners from all over. The Asian flavor they consistently get is kind of bleh for me. Exactly. Whenever they do monks, quote unquote, you think like, oh, the Tibetan monk, they can sit in the cold and put a cold towel on them, and then they meditate, and then, oh look, there's steam coming off them because they've meditated their body to be like a lot warmer or something. And oh my god, they're doing sick kick flips, and they're being like martial artist ninja fighters. It's like, first of all, that's not what most Tibetan monks do anyway. Most Tibetan monks are just there to vibe. Certain sects do that, yes, but like, it's dumb. The other party members don't meet her in the oh, right, right. One of your characters is a halfling barmaid that is a monk. That's adorable. The other party members don't meet her in the tavern. They just walk past and see a dude flying out of the tavern after getting his ass kicked. Hell yeah. Love flavoring monks is just like scrappy back alley brawlers with a quick mind. Yeah, that's kind of how I went about it as well. Although I don't have such stringent rules. I went the way Dark Souls and Elden Ring goes about making classes, which is to say, the class is what you make it. You choose your gear, you choose your weapon, and you choose the ability score that you want to use. So you could be, let's say I want to make a battle mage. I want to be super smart and I want to be super tanky. I'm going to choose my main stat, which is going to be intelligence. As long as you enjoy throwing those hands, you can be a monk. Yeah, pretty much. I want to punch hard. Yeah, you can. You wouldn't be called a monk, you'd probably just be like a brawler or a criminal, something, someone. Someone. But, a bonk. Oh yeah, barbarians also don't exist. They're called gladiators. Because gladiator has less of a religious or, I guess, cultural connotation. Gladiators were entertainers in ancient Greek and Roman era, and gladiator kept on being a more universal term for that. Those who use combat for entertainment, but barbarians are specific to the Norse, and they just got angry. They would literally hop themselves up on shrooms and just sheer willpower, and then they would just go running into the running in and fighting things. Pugilist is also a pretty good word for that. Yeah, pugilist instead of monk. Just a puncher. But yeah, I will be editing the point of this conversation, the point of this tangent. I have edited a few things from this book that I feel is a little too niche to a culture. And witchcraft definitely feels a little niche. Here, do a shroom about it. Yeah, pretty much. Berserker. Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, that's right. I was thinking of Berserker. I think I originally called them Berserkers, and I'm like, this feels wrong. But that is true. Barbarian, Barbarus is the Latin term for, people who are non-Roman. Which is kind of not really racist, but it's definitely xenophobic. So I don't want to use the term barbarian either. But the concept is still there. You can still be a fighty boy. You're just now a gladiator. Also, the term paladin is kind of still there, but it's kind of not, because I've done a lot of research on what each of these words mean to see if I can keep them or not, and I know a paladin used to just be a palace guard, usually religiously affiliated, and that was it. A paladin just meant palace guard. It's where the word palad in the paladin comes from. So I was like, okay, it kind of works. So the term palatine is definitely still there. You'll summon Sarax from the Fate Hole. Yes, Lobo. Yes. The term paladin comes from the term I think it's like palatinos, something like that. And it means palace guard. Palace bodyguard, basically. So whenever I looked at that, I was like, okay, so if someone wants to be a paladin, they can just line themselves up as a bodyguard position, and be religiously affiliated. So they'd be in the clergy, so they would choose the clergy background, and then just choose... I would have thought Royal Guard would be more Palace Guard. I think Royal Guard is it's a European term for that. but let me go in here. Yeah, Paladin 1590s, in reference to the medieval romance cycle. Paladin comes from the French paladin, warrior, and from Italian paladino and Latin palatinos, palace official. And noun of palatinus, of the palace. So yeah, it basically means a palace guard or a palace fighter, someone who is there from the palace. Because it was literally motherfuckers who had royal privileges, but were there as kind of like bodyguards. It's hard to explain. It's a Roman thing. I'll block you all, Hideki Kaima. My music's kind of quiet. There we go. I bumped it up. Alright, I'm gonna sip a tea, and we're gonna keep working on this magic system. Yum. Alright, so here. Rock. Okay, so I did minerals right here. Did I do metal? I did not. Metallurgy. Alright, so from what I understand in the book, you're under arrest. Hehe, Usagi commits arson. Oh no, Usagi! Don't commit the arson! Alright, where is it? Okay, here. Using metal objects, such as swords and shields that have magical properties. I don't really consider metal... Now that I'm looking at it, I don't really consider metallurgy a magic system, so much as a product of having a system that allows for enchanting weapons. So I'm gonna do this. Instead of metallurgy, I'm gonna have the word... well, maybe. Maybe we could call it metallurgy, but... Oh, you could say Royal Guard and Palace Guard could be separate. Royal Guards could travel with their charges, whereas a Palace Guard just works at the palace. Very true. There could be a difference. Danny! Hey, guess what? I wonder how it works now since I'm tiny. There we go. Small. So I guess I'll just write it. Metallurgy. Oh, if I can. My handwriting is not good today. I apologize. So for this, we'll just call it enchanted weapons. Don't mind me. Alright, astrological. Here it says astrological is magic based on the alignment of planets and stars. And eeks and small. Eek, 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 eek. Now, I don't know exactly how I would do that. And I can't think of any good examples. Cause like with metallurgy, I can already kind of understand it. It's like Elden Ring. Whenever I apply like bleed or fire to my weapon, and then boom, done. And now I can cause bleed whenever I hit people, or I make fire whenever I hit people. But like, astrological? I mean, I guess some people could consider there being power in the zodiacs. I'm not used to having this few points. Oh, Amy, it's okay. I'm actually gonna... Oh, wait, I already have Beast right here. Never mind. Teehee. Alright, so... Yeah, I can't think of any reference. Here, I'm gonna Google it. I guess, yeah, like, doing Zodiac stuff could be considered some sort of magic. But, like... Maybe, like, they could divine the future through the stars, perhaps? That's the only application I could think of for it. But using it in any offensive way, I don't think could ever exist. I'd be well on my way to a second art redeem if not for my crippling Jenga addiction. You know what? I appreciate the Jengas. Having conflicting choices in my next bust. Do I want non-binary Revent? My hair dryad, half dryad druid. Wow, that was hard to say. Ooh. I want to draw the Dilf Orc Bard, please. I want to see a Dilf Orc Bard. How dare you hide this from me? But yeah, I'm assuming astrological has to do with, like, divinations. Maybe taking on the aspect of said zodiac. Possibly. I heard Dilfork, I am listening. Leaning in, even. Look at Usagi. That's her prerogative. But yeah, I'm assuming, at least the way I would go about it, with my Dilf Orc Bard. Hell yeah. Dilf Orc. I'm down. Where's my book? There it is. Yeah, it just says magic based on the alignments of planets and stars. It doesn't say literally anything else. Planet and star positions. But yeah, I would assume this is kind of like a matchmaker, or like a medium, or like a soothsayer that looks at your zodiac and like goes, "Oh, you're under the sun of whatever, or the Venus, or however the fuck they do it." I don't know zodiacs. I don't know. I know that there's like you can have like a sun sign, a moon sign. But I don't know what they mean. I'm sure there's people out there. I'm sure there's people out there who know, but I don't. I am sorry. But yeah, maybe they have that. Alright, it also says here blood. Using blood to perform magic. And I don't see anywhere where I wrote down the word blood. But I will write it down now. And it's just blood-based magic. I already went over kind of how one of my characters went about blood magic, and it's basically he can use his blood to just kind of, well, he can use it to attack, but for the most part he doesn't. My Hemomancer, his name is, we actually know who he is. You guys have seen him before. His name is Adoken, and he is my first OC. He's gone through a lot of iterations, but nowadays he is a Hemomancer. And the way he usually uses his blood magic is not necessarily for attacking. He doesn't like slap people with blood. Although you could do that. You could have it to where maybe they coagulate the blood and like hit people with it. But the way he uses it is through marking. He will put little, like, not alchemical, but he will put symbols, on the ground or on a wall, and it'll seep into it, and he'll be able to basically pick up if someone walks by that or touches that, and he'll go, "Oh, we have an intruder." He uses it more as, like, an alarm. Yeah, kind of like, they're kind of runey. Yeah, they're runes. But he uses his blood more as an alarm than as a fighting tactic. He relies more on his fighting tactics with his fists. He is very much, as we know, the word, pugilist. He is very much a punchy guy. he uses fire fist technique, which, you know, he hits people and fire comes out. And blood is actually an extension of fire in his world. It's considered the fire of the body, if that makes sense. So it's blood is just an extension of the fire ability. I know it sounds a little wonky, but his people have a strong belief and have a strong, not really magic system. Well, I guess it's technically a magic system. But yeah, they connect the body to different elements, and blood is of the fire. I know skin, your actual, like, skin and bone is the earth. I don't remember all of it anymore. I mainly focused on those two when writing. I had an idea for an undead character. Ooh! A young cleric attempted to resurrect a long-dead hero to save their village, but instead their soul gets stuck together in the skeleton body and they need to recuperate. Cooperate. Oh god! That's pretty cool.
Awa.
It's Eepy Bat Wednesday. I keep being a yawny baby.
I apologize.
But, let me go grab my boy. I want to show him off. He's a handsome lad. Ooh, that's really pretty. Alright, where is my boy? There he is.
My boy.
He is a baby. This is him. As you can see. This was him when he was baby. Like, he's an old man now. But, this is what he looked like when he was baby. He uses fire. He can literally set shit on fire. Alright, I'm gonna close that out. Wah. There we go. But yeah, he just uses his blood for that. I can't think of any other way to use blood. I guess look at the blood mages from Dragon Age. That's what it's called. Dragon Age. They have things called blood mages. They could probably also do like some sort of healing. And they could also probably do some sort of internal damage. Like, you know, they touch their opponent and then they, like, fuck up their blood somehow. But that's the only way I could think of them to use the blood magic. Alright, I can erase this. Oh, blood's right here. I'm just stupid. Alrighty, so next, I'm gonna put down necromancy. And we all know what necromancy is. It has to do with communicating with the dead. And nowadays, when we hear necromancer, we think people who summon ghosts and, raise the dead. However, fun fact, the term necromancy usually just meant someone who talks to the dead. For instance, the term pyromancer would also be someone who gleams information in a fire. The mancer has to do more with gleaming information, not someone who actually attacked and did stuff like that. So when you hear necromancer, just remember that. Nowadays, it just means people who raise the dead and fight with, you know, manipulate the dead and fight with that. Maybe someone who can also, like, rip your soul out of your body. Like, who knows? The hero never actually beat the evil the legend said he did, so he gets his chance now. Oh, that's so sweet, Amy!
I like that.
I like that a lot. That's really cute. What is that noise? I'm gonna pause this and listen really quietly. Because I thought I heard something. Okay, I think I'm okay. I think. Guys, if I die, you won't know what happened, but just know. Just know I am I going crazy? Thought I heard something. Oh, whatever. I'll leave it alone. I'm just gonna assume... Guys, it's not Cecil. Cecil's in the room.
I'm scared.
Me, the fucking face, just... Oh no. Oh god, I'm okay. I'm alive. No, I'm not succumbing to madness. I guess Leon's mom came over to drop something and she scared the shit out of me. I thought I was getting creeped up on. I'm okay. Fucking hell. Yeah, Mama's soul guard. I guess she came over for something. Cause it's not like we don't let the parents in. They have the key. They can just come in whenever. But like sometimes you get situations like that where it's like, oh fuck, are we being robbed? We're okay. I'm okay. I'm breathing. Yeah, she just popped in to let me know she was here. Oh, fucking hell. Anyway, let's continue. My heart is in my throat now. Yeah, I just had a fucking heart attack the moment she opened the door. Anyway. Here it is. Necromancy. We know what that is. Now, this is something called creature. And I don't know. Who isn't a little mad here? We're all nuts here. And thank you, Gil. If I do actually ever, like... If I let you know, if something is genuinely happening, I will let you all know. And that's when you just start calling 911. I will even, like, if okay. Here's the lowdown, I guess. If something ever happens to me in my house, I will physically start, like, reading off my address to you all for the sake of calling the cops. Because, yeah, I don't want to get jumped by anyone. Shit's spooky. At the very least, I'll send it to someone who I can trust and they'll help. But hopefully it never comes to that. You know? Fair enough. Calls police from Scotland. Yeah, I don't care where you're from, just call the police. Yeah, I'll let you guys know. I'll use a safe word to let you know I'm in trouble, like rutabaga or something. Alright, so, something similar to Blood and Beast. There's something, well, it's not really in the same as this, but it's something called creature magic. I didn't write it down because I'm dumb. Creature magic. And apparently this has to do with using a piece of a magical creature, like dragon scales and a unicorn's horn, to perform magic. So let's say, Harry Potter, once again, we don't give a shit about Joling, Colling, Rowling here in this place. Everyone, and in my house, everyone hates J.K. Rowling. But I will admit, Harry Potter as a concept is okay. Ariza, I'm not sure that Cali police would be able to understand you with your accent. Yeah, a little bit. Or they'd just be really confused, like, are you from fucking Scotland? What is happening? To be fair, I could understand, and I'm from Cali. Granted, I'll speak the Queen's English. I'll speak the Queen's English. But let's see. Using magical... creature parts. And yeah, this is usually seen in stuff like potions, where it's like, oh yeah, I need the chisel of a unicorn's horn, or like I don't know, yeti hair. I don't think, but once again, this is something that you see in HP. They use stuff like unicorn hair and dragon heartstring and phoenix feathers to amplify their magic by putting them as a core in their wands. So I can see that. The Queen's English!
The Queen! Oh no, she's dead.
There is no Queen of England. There is no Tooth Fairy. And there is no Queen of England. Yes, Ariza, the King's English. Yeah, it's no longer the Queen's English. I'll still call it the Queen's English. I don't give a fuck. And yes, Ryza very good mod. Mwah. Kiss on his forehead, because he is a good boy. Eye of Newt? Yeah, kinda like that, Lobo. Quinglish. No, it's still hers. It's still her English. You're a good boy, Ryza. But yes, it's still her English. She's not dead. Aww, Gil. I love Usagi's emotes, they're so cute. Alright, now there is something else here. I wrote down mythological, but I don't know what I mean. What do I mean? Why did I write this? Who am I? Because I already have divine up here. I think that's what I meant, divine or holy. Basically magic given to you by a goddess or a god. You get a power-up. And then there's time. Time is pretty easy to understand. You just control time. You stop the flow of time, or you— whoa!
Aw, Blippi, thank you for the buddy.
Mwah, cutie. The first Worldbuilding Wednesday since the debut. I know.
Oh.
But yes, time has to do with controlling time, controlling the flow of time. There we go. Handwriting. Awful, but that's okay. Stop the flow of time. Yes.
Kiss the cute beep boop. Oh, you kiss smooch. Mwah.
Smooch the screen. And then there's healing, which basically you heal with magic. Now all of these can overlap each other. Please understand that. Like for instance, if you're using blood magic, you can use blood magic to heal someone. Like let's say you're using their own blood to like generate something in their body to speed up the healing process. Maybe you use it as a coagulant on a wound that they have. That way you can get the wound itself to be I wish I wasn't yawning so much. Weh. But yes, you can use like I said, blood magic or like a divine magic in order to heal people, or you could even use creature magic. These can lap over each other. But medical magic. And then finally it has something called mana or mana. And we all know what that is. It's magic that's derived from an energy source. There we go. Magic from an energy source. And once again, you can overlap these easily. Can you use blood magic to make blood to heal someone from blood loss faster? Ooh, like you're generating their blood quicker? I can see that. Blood magic's such a fun magic to play with. I have a webcomic character who has blood magic that I've been meaning to start drawing more. Yeah, weirdly enough, blood magic can have a lot of applications. Just mop up the blood and put it back in. Yeah, you're right. Why? You hemorrhaging? Are you hemorrhaging? Just put it back in. Forehead. Ah, the tea is yummy. Alrighty. So, how does all of these magic systems affect your world? After all, that is what we are talking about today. Use weather and blood magic to make blood rain. Oh no. I should not have said that they go together. Anyway. Yeah. But yes,
Awa awa.
but yeah, how does having a magic system like in here affect the society you live in? So, first things first, we should probably figure out a magic system and then start processing it through the cultural lens. Because in all actuality, well, actually, I guess it depends on what comes first. If culture comes first, then the magic system will probably affect it. And how long the magic system's been in place has to do with how long magic has influenced said culture. For instance, I am creating a magic system where people can use the true name of something, and they will be able to control that thing. For example, here, I already have it written down, actually. Where is it? Here it is. This is part of my magic system. These are the true names of earth, water, air, and fire as a concept of element. So, if I wanted to summon the power of water, I would say Shalasuri, because I'm speaking water's name. I'm physically calling out to the water, and then I would have to give it a command. I'd still have to speak in this language. It's an ancient, ancient tongue that has a power over people. And I'd have to figure out how to say, water, come out of the ground. Something like that. I'd have to figure out how to say it. But I at least know the word for water. So, let's say this magic system's been around for about 100 years, because people have only recently learned about these names, and they're starting to apply it to their lives. If I can control water, there could be an occupation of certain people who generate water during dry spells. There's a guild, let's say, of mages that study these commands and study these names. Oh, thank you for the sippy, Amy. But yeah, let's say there's a guild, a series of guilds out there that have learned how to speak the name of water and how to tell water what they would like it to do. And then they can generate it whenever they need it, like, during droughts and all that. My brain's thinking about a stand-in part 5 of JoJo that makes razor blades inside people's bodies using the metal in their blood. Holy shit! That's crazy! I actually have a, what is it? I have a vampire. I have a lot of vampires. But I have a vampire quirk user. He's a, his quirk is vampirism, but he is a My Hero Academia inspired character. And he does that. He, uses people's blood to fight. I basically based him off of Vladimir from League of Legends, but he can use his blood and other people's blood to kill motherfuckers, basically. And he uses the iron in the blood to add to the blood shards' tips to make them do extra damage. Because he's nuts, but yeah, you being able to use iron in someone's blood is fucking metal. But, give me Morgan. Morgan's actually really interesting, too. Morgan's fun. He is a shape-shifting vampire. He can, shapeshift... Was that a pun? Maybe? But yeah, Morgan can give himself, like, wings and, like, claws. Like, he can morph his body a bit. I love Morgan. It's Morgan time! Nar! No, don't ruin him this way. I love Morgan, though. He's my baby. Anyway, back to the whole, magic stuff. Yeah, in my world, it's a very recent development because, they didn't really know that they had access to this power until a few archaeologists actually found some of these writings. And then over time, Morgan is daddy. Morgan's great. But yeah, only about 100 years ago were they able to start figuring out how to utilize these true names. Because I feel like over the course of the last 500 to 600 years, they've been, like, studying this stuff, but only until about 100 years ago were they able to start applying it to their lives. So it's a semi-new not technology, but it's a semi-new technique of, I guess, upgrading and elevating their society. So that's also something to take into consideration. Is the magic system old to the culture or new to the culture? If so, if it's super young, then that means you don't have to worry about too much because it's a very new process for everyone. However, if it's super ingrained in their culture, then their culture has been shaped by it. And in turn, the magic system has probably been shaped by the culture because they've been holding hands so long. Magic! Yes, we're talking about magic. But, yeah. So, if you want a culture that has it ingrained, you need to first look at the magic system and what it can do, what's its limitations, what are its advantages. Is it worth it, or is it not worth it? Are lay people able to get a hold of magic, a la the Harry Potter world? I return for washing dishes, I'm excited. Oh, I'm glad you're excited, yay! Yes, holding hands, lewd. Also have a holds Morgan's booba. Thank you, Reza. He would also thank you if he could. Wow, my brain fried. But, oh, but yes, if the magic is a recent development, look into how it has affected recent history. But if it has a history with itself, and if, depending on who can use said magic, or who has it available to them, for instance, is it hereditary, or can anyone use it? Or if they study enough, does that mean that there are guilds in place where the knowledge is protected? Are there schools for it? Is it a viable way of getting a job? Is there some sort of magic system that lets you do that? For instance, let's go, what is it? Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist's magic system is so fucking good. It's a hard magic system because we know the rules. You need a circle in order to perform alchemy. You need to write shit in there to basically conjure up whatever you're doing. And anyone, as far as I know, anyone can learn it. It just has to do with if you're able to wrap your head around everything. You need to be extremely smart. And it is a job. Alchemists are a thing. They get paid to be alchemists. They get paid to go around the city. Their main occupation, their main job, originally was to make repairs to the city, to improve the city. Nowadays they're called the dogs of the military, at least in the setting of the show, because they became weapons essentially because of their offensive properties. But you see a lot of them repairing shit too, and building new stuff. And of course, fighting other alchemists, because of course there's going to be alchemists who don't want to follow that. Don't forget about the whole royal elite only magic crap. Yeah, that will happen too. There will be situations where it's like, only we can do this magic system. Granted, that isn't in Full Metal Alchemist. Anyone can be an alchemist. It doesn't matter what their it doesn't matter what their caste, what their class system, what their class in their system is. Character I was talking about, the cleric's body was placed in a protective casing while they went to find and fix and also defeat the big bad. However, the body gets stolen by the servants of a lich. Oh god, because they want to keep their powers but have a somewhat living body. Yeah, that's fair. I don't blame him. He's like, ooh, I'm gonna look nice. Alchemy, yes, alchemy. Let me sit up a bit. But yeah, Full Metal Alchemist, alchemy has been in place for a long time. However, it's also extremely limiting, like I said. You have to be extremely smart and be able to wrap your head around it. And sometimes you also have to just be in the family. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Cause like Mustang, for example, he's only a fire alchemist because he knew the guy that invented fire alchemy. So some aspects of alchemy, you legitimately are just shit out of luck. You can't perform it because it is a field of research. It's considered more of like a magical science more than like a magic system. At least as far as I'm concerned. I would consider it a magical science. And it is still limiting. You can't invent and build brand new things with alchemy. You could try. You can certainly try. But, you wouldn't be able to, say, create a brand new leg, with alchemy. Like, specifically, let's say you want to make a metal leg. I mean, you could probably make something that's very rudimentary, but unless you had a really firm grasp on, what is it called? Automail. That's what it is. Unless you have a really firm grasp on automail and alchemy, it's gonna be really hard to create a fully operational automail, part. 'Cause, yeah. So you still need inventors, because alchemy can't do everything. And in turn, you should look at the limits of your own magic system. For my magic system, the true name system, the limit is simply just, they don't know all the words. They only know a handful of words based on, what they've found written down. Oh, my Castlevania music picked up. I'm like, why do I feel like I'm being chased? Here, let me go find relaxing music. I want something a little calm right now. I found a playlist called Relaxing Zelda Music to lose a subscriber to. That's great. No, Amy, you're cute. Very sweet. Yes, we love Usagi in this house. Usagi, a good girl. Let's listen to Dark... fuck it. We'll listen to Castlevania. Why not? It picked up. I might as well let it... give it its chance. But yes, the true name system has only been around as what it is for the past 100 years because people started using these things, speaking this language, originally as just to study it. And then they started realizing, oh shit, we're manipulating stuff as we say these words. Like, let's say once again, I say the word shalasuri, which means water. And then I notice, yes, Castlevania music. But let's say I'm vibing, and I have a glass of water next to me, and I'm studying these words, and I've just cracked the code. I know that these 4 symbols mean shalasuri, and I say it. And then I notice something with my cup of water. It moved just a little, like it was responding to me. And then I try it again, shalasuri, and then it moves again. That's just the first step. So you can see how this process takes a while. They've had to crack a lot of code. And they only have so much to work with because this ancient, the lost language is just that. Lost. And that is the limitation of my language. It's not necessarily what they can do with it, because if you have the true name of anything and you have the command, you can make it do whatever the fuck you want. If I have the true name of, say, a person, and I tell them, go kill 10 people, and I say that, they will have no choice. They will have to do that. Or if I look at them and I say someone's true name and I say in the ancient language, explode. They will literally explode. They can do whatever the fuck they want with this magic system. The problem is, the words are so fucking long and stupid and complicated, only a very select few people have the patience and the time to actually study this shit. And even then, they don't have words for everything. Sounds cool. Wah! It also sounds very dangerous. Because if someone happens upon one of these words, a lot of shit could happen. Yeah, so... It took them a while to figure out how this works. So, my culture specifically has a very long history. You could literally make so many sleeper agents. Yeah, pretty much. You could have a power word for kill. A command word. And you could literally control the universe if you knew all of the true names. Granted, true names are extremely hard to find. True names are almost impossible, really. Specifically for individuals. If you could find out someone, like an individual's true name, you're crazy. You're a god. But at the same time, you can only control that one person. So you can see where the limitations start to stack up. It's also a lot more of a pain in the ass to figure out all of those names and remember them. Have a command word and hide it in a song. That'd be clever. But yeah, it's very hard to figure out a person's true name because it's long. It's extremely long. It's like writing code, almost. But for the elements, like earth, water, air, and fire, it's a lot easier. Does a creature know its own true name? No. That's actually something else, too. You don't know your own true name. A true name is something that was given to you at the beginning of your life cycle, your very first incarnation upon this planet, given to you in this ancient language. It's basically the true name of your soul. Not just your person, your soul. And that's an extremely difficult name to find. Good luck, I'm just saying. It might not even be written down. What's my true name? Cutie Pie. But yeah, these individual names are very, very long. However, people have learned how to generalize to make shit a little easier. For instance, in order to say, hey Ryza, I can instead say, hey, a true name slut. But yeah, instead of going like, hey Ryza, let's pretend that's Ryza's true name. I could go, hey, vampire pirate, and he'd know who I was talking about. Granted, the more generalized you get with the words, the less the magic works, because there's a lot more. I'm sure there's more than one vampire pirate out there. Let's say I'm talking to the whole world, because the whole world in this magic system is listening on some subconscious level. The true names are working. So if I want to say, if I want to try and manipulate someone on this world, and I know they're a human, I will use this language's word for human. But it doesn't do much, if anything at all, because there's so many humans. It's so generalized. They're like, what? Which one? And it's like, fuck. Human in the desert. It's like, okay, that's still not nearly small enough. And it's like, oh, fuck. So it's very, very difficult to get the to get small enough to get it to work effectively. But that's why it's fun. Human in the desert wearing a pirate hat. Yeah, like you could go on all day and it just would not work until you're literally hitting off every detail. And at that point, that is a mouthful of a spell. So, that doesn't mean that they haven't been able to do that, however. So what if you told the whole world to explode? You'd have to find the true name of the planet. Good luck. Good luck. Also, good luck finding the word for explode.
Cat, hello! Cat, 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 cat.
Happy birthday, cutie! Its name is Derek! So you're saying it's possible. I am saying it's possible. But good luck is also what I'm saying. Because the planet, fun fact, it has a true name.
Yes, it's the sweet cat.
Cloud, disappear. Where? You know what? I'm gonna make it Derek, just because it's funny. But, yeah, so in order to get this magic system to kind of work, with the D&D magic system, I've been fucking around with it. So let's say, someone wants to use lay on hands, and heal someone. The way the magic system would work here is that you'd put your hands on someone, and you would know the word for, this person, and heal wound. So this person, you don't know their true name, so you can't truly control them, but you can at least manipulate a little bit about this person, whoever you are touching, to heal. And if you say, this person heal wounds, those are the words that you speak. Or let's say I'm healing a human, I say, this human heal wounds. I'm saying I want to heal their wounds to the true name system, and it'll go, okay, you healed them a little bit. But it's nothing like, it's nothing like using their true name. But that's how they can kind of get around it. But it's not nearly as strong. Wouldn't it be easy for people to trade their no names, then gain a lot of low-level abilities? No, because you do not know your true name. And to trade their known names don't work. You have to be speaking in this ancient tongue with these ancient symbols, in your mind while you are speaking it. Yeah, it's kind of like the Skyrim dragon language. It's kind of like that. My true name is Bodie McBoatface. God damn it, Ryzen. I mean, the words they need to cast spells. Like, what stops a cleric from teaching someone those words so they can do it too? Nothing. Nothing is stopping them. Which is why it's very much regulated. Literally nothing. But, they also have, a lot of people do have a sort of pride to it. The scholars are very stingy with their knowledge. They do not want people to know this shit, because the scholars like to feel important. They're like, yes, we're cool, we know all of it. So it's kind of like a trade secret, in a way. And some people can know the words, but unless they've taken the time to study each word and each command and each symbol for the words, it takes some dedication. It's like a blacksmith picking up an apprentice almost. Or like, let's say, I'm here teaching you how to draw. Unless you know how to properly apply the teachings, it's still not going to do too much. Unless you're dedicated to learning the craft. It's like a craft of its own. So there is still a lot of regulation and there is still study involved. But yes, you could totally learn, at least learn a few words, but it would take a few months of study to be able to properly do anything. Not to mention, they don't have all the words. Knowing isn't enough, requires a lot of practice and trial and error. Yes. Now, thankfully, there are people out there who, like the scholars, for instance, the cloister scholars, they've been doing the backbone work. Think of it as kind of like coders, like I said. The scholars are basically like true name coders, where they write it all down, they compile it together, and they just start testing shit. They are testing words and they are testing symbols to try and figure out what does what, which is where they've gotten these true names. So if people can just like look into it and learn it a lot faster, because the scholars have already done that backbone of work. But, you know, good luck getting a scholar to tell you their secrets. They're usually bound to basically a, what is it called? A non-disclosure agreement, pretty much. An NDA, that's what it is. To their guild. Also, not everyone has the same words. They don't... Some people, like, are stingy about it and won't talk about it. So, some different scholars will have different words. They don't know, like trial fix, something, error destroys even further. But yeah, it's a very muddy process, very finicky. And they are struggling. Because they only have so much to work with. Gatekeep Dragonlight evil boss? Yes, pretty much. But yes, they've had upwards of about 500 years to find these symbols. And like I said, the last 100 years or so, they've actually been able to apply the system to the culture. So nowadays, you have certain scholars that will go to a town if Foom Rabbi, go get Foom. But you'll have, let's say, this region's getting hit by a drought. Scholars can go over there and start, you know, mumbling the words, thinking of the symbols, murmuring the words, making sure no one hears it, and boop, they create a bit of water to soak up into the land, and done. Drought over. At least in that part. But the fun thing is, this is just the first part of different true names. Think of it as kind of like, let's say your name is like Lance Philip Rodriguez or something like that. You know how when your mom calls you and she'll just say your first name, like, oh, Lance, come here. But then you hear your full name. And then you hear Lance Philip Rodriguez, and you shit your pants because you know you're in trouble. It's kind of like that. That's how I consider true names. If you're just using, like, the basic-ass word for it, it's just like, oh, okay. But if you can figure out its full true name, you have more control over this element. Because while Shalasuri is a good starting point, that's not the full name. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun with my magic system in my D&D campaign and watch people have fun figuring the names out if one of them happens to go that route. I can't wait to make water shit itself. But yeah, it's kind of like that. I can't believe Rise is fucking dead. I can't believe he's fucking dead. But, there was a point to this tangent. Oh, yeah. Basically, though, my culture is kind of affected, but not yet. Not yet affected. Oh, also, fun little fact, this can also help with culture. Like I said with this Steam, nar! But like with this, when I said you can do multiples of these and it would work, like for example in my system, you have elemental manipulation because it's the easiest thing to do. You probably would be able to control weather, although I'm not sure how. I guess you could say clouds above me form, but good luck figuring out those words, and good luck channeling that much fucking energy. Also, all you'd really do is summon a couple of clouds and you're done. I don't know if it'd let you do psychic, like telepathy and telekinesis. If you had the true name for the person, then yeah, you'd be able to talk to them telepathically, but that's a bit difficult to find. But enchanting is where I want to go with this. So metallurgy, as I wrote here, enchanted weapons. The past few years, scholars figured out that you could actually enchant items by speaking, "Hello, penguin, I am not a stinky brat." Welcome in, homie. How you doing? Says the word air. If pumpkin wimdy. Yeah, Fumpkin Wimdy. I mean, bat, I just typed an extra R, of course. Yeah, sure. Is that the story you're sticking with, Penguina? Yes, we're talking about magic. But, yeah, I wanted to explore the whole enchanting thing. So tell me all about it, I will.
No, don't chew on the magic wires, Usagi. Wah!
But, let's say about 70 years ago, a scholar figured out that you can actually enchant items. And then eventually, someone who wanted, let's say a scholar wanted to make a fucking buck selling items that do that. This scholar split off from their sect, and they started creating weapons. Not the late lines, somewhere a black mage cries. Oh. But yeah, let's say the scholar settles down, learns a trade, and starts making rings. And then these rings are applied with elemental magic in mind. That way, whenever you put on certain rings or jewelry or whatever, you'll be able to basically use those for whatever the purpose is. Like, let's say I have a necklace and I put water breathing on it. Someone wears that necklace, and you said, you know, Shalasuri Veso Koloma, you know, something crazy. And you've basically just said, hey, water, you can breathe in it now. And then you pop on the necklace and you go about your day. It's enchanted now. And by using the true name. And I think that'd be pretty fun to do. I can't believe Usagi fucking died. Whoa! Penguina! 8 months! Yes, guess what time of the month it is? It's sub-month! 8 months! Holy shit! Oh, with Prime, too! Nice. But yeah, there's a lot of fun that I could do with my system, which is what I'm fucking with. But yeah, they're starting to get like enchanted weapons and tools, but it's only really done for like the aristocracy, because good luck being a layperson and paying for that. Ghost Usagi. Let's grab Usagi. I can't believe Usagi's fucking dead. Since I'm so small, does that mean everyone else is super big? Like, see? Usagi? Big. But yes, I think over the course of the game, people will find these. How could you... Oh. How could you use it to fly? Hmm? Usagi noodle here, burnt chicken nugget. Away. But, yeah, I think that'd be really fun. Ow. So that's just a long-running example of what you can do. Full Metal Alchemist is an example of a magic system where the history is built around alchemy, where you can see there's jobs, there is regulation, there are stringent rules, and then here, it's just starting to really pick up. Also, alchemy has a history. They have a lore about where the first alchemist came from. He came from the east, I believe. They said, oh yeah, the eastern sage came over and gave us alchemy thousands of years ago. Could you use it to enchant something so you could fly, and if so, what words would you use? That sounds like an air-based enchantment, so you would probably say something about air, like air lift me and help me stay up, something like that. Or even something to do with gravity and the force of gravity, and telling gravity, you're not in control, I'm in control now. You would still need said item to be probably... like either maybe a set of wings, like a little set of wings that you could put on your person, or like a cape, something. Levitate. Yes, levitate. But it would probably take, and it does take a few weeks to create this stuff too, because it will take a lot of trial and error. Also, I do feel like the person could also rename this item because it is a new thing. They could give it a true name, their own true name. They're coding it, essentially, their own new code. That way, let's say, you know, I create my levitation cape, and I name it... Let me go look at the names real quick. And I give it a new name. Let's say I give it the name Airwalker. So I look for the word Fowasahe, air, and then I say walker. I don't know the word for walker, but they name it their own thing. That way they don't have to they don't have to go in and just repeat the whole spell over and over again to try and repair the item. They just say the new item's name, because it is a new thing. Oh shit, I did say Skywalker, huh? I completely forgot that was Luke's name from Star Wars. I absolutely fucking forgot. God, I'm dumb. But you get it. I have the high ground. Nah! Clearly, clearly Anakin did not have the high ground despite his name. Can you use this enchantment system to become unkillable? Yes. If you have the words for it, yes, you can. You can beef yourself out. If you knew your true name and if you knew the word for it, you could make yourself immortal and unkillable. But once again, have fun. It would literally take more than your lifetime to figure that out. Because someone's true name is very long and very complicated. I love it here. I also love it here. But yes, while there is a lot of room for danger, it's also just so limiting and so time consuming that most people just don't even have the fucking time for it. They're like, I can't dedicate my life to studying all this dumb shit. So it usually is only known by people who have dedicated their lives to this, who can afford to do it. I know archaeologists are also in very high demand because most of this stuff is paid for by the elite, by the aristocracy, by the government. By the government, I mean, you know, kings and queens. Because they are also looking for this kind of shit. They want to know. So archaeologists and scholars get paid a lot of money. But you also have to go through a very stringent process of getting the fuck in there. I will do everything it takes to become immortal, of course, Gil. Good luck on your journey, buddy. But, yeah, they've pretty much exhausted everything. They have everything that they could find. They found it. So it's a very, very difficult process. Chaos must reign for all time, I see. It's more, I based it somewhat off of something called Rongo Rongo, which is a language. Hold on, let me. Rongo Rongo is really fucking cool, by the way. I'm probably pronouncing it stupid. No, never mind, I'm pronouncing it correctly. But Rongo Rongo is a writing system that we found, in the Americas, I believe. Specifically, actually no, it was from the Easter Island. And it looks like this. And it looks really dope. But we don't know what the fuck this means. We've looked at these symbols and gone, now your name is Desmond Dracula and not Desmond Dracula anymore, so do I have to change my greeting? Okay. Oh, I don't mind if people still call me Desmond, without the D at the end. I just thought it looked nicer to add the second D. But I'm not going to be a stickler about it and be like, no, you have to use my name the way I spelled it now, because that's silly. If you want to, you can, but it's not. Desmond is a Digimon. Yes, I'm a Digimon. Digimon. Anyway. I'm looking for more writing samples here. There we go. Here's also more Rongo Rongo. It's so fucking pretty, by the way. I love this writing system. But we don't know what the fuck it says. Desmond Double D Dracula? Yes, thank you, Penguina. Desmond Double D Dracula. I have double D's. But yeah, just like Rongo Rongo, we don't know what the hell it means. And for the longest time, they didn't know what any of these symbols meant either, and they only have a handful available to them. So it's still a very, very difficult thing to crack. It's a very difficult code to crack. And like I said, it's taken them hundreds of years to figure this shit out. Because it's a very, very slow moving process. And we actually do that as a society today. We'll take symbols and languages that we've seen and we'll go, okay, let's try and reverse engineer this shit so we can know what it says. It's just been a crazy. A Desmommy model. Wah! I don't want to be a Desmommy. God, Rongo Rongo's so cool. I can't find any of the symbol. There it is. Okay. Yeah, there's like 500 symbols of this motherfucker. Rongo Rongo's nuts, and we don't know what it is. We don't know if it's logographic or syllabic. We don't know if it's either. And I don't think it's either. Good morning. Oh wait, no, just got a new internet modem. Nice. And hello, Pats. Oh shit, I didn't even see Pats. I'm so sorry. Wow, how are you doing? I don't care what gender you are. Put on the maid outfit. I have a maid outfit. I'm just saying. But yeah, that was just my sample of my magic system. Which, by the way, I do have all the symbols written down. But that's for me to know and my party to find out. Alright, let me grab the book. So, since we have cleared the magic system, and we've explained how it works for what you could do for the culture, it will also help you understand how, I guess, developed they are? No. Y'all are being cute. Like, for instance, for me, my world, it just depends on the culture, on how developed they are technologically, but the magic system that's put in place, it's so difficult to get done that they still do rely primarily on technology. So you will have aqueducts instead of relying on a scholar to just drop by and water your crops for you. Doesn't as the Rosetta Stone won't share it. Get him! No! Don't do it. I mean, I could show off the symbols, but I guess good luck knowing what they mean. Here, I'll flash them to you. There you go. That's all you get. Hope you took a screenshot. Anyway, also my arm was in the way, so... Oh, those are pretty. Oh, thank you. Here, I'll show them off. Pretty. But, yeah, it's still... Okay, now what? What? Wait, no! Ah, put me down! Lobo, please! Lobo, your hands are very warm. Let's see. What was I gonna say? Wow. Oh, right. So, yeah, just because we know in the world, we know the magic word for water, and we probably know how to make water come forth. Anyway. We know how to get water to actually show up. That doesn't mean it's gonna necessarily be easy and, you know, moving water around is easier than ever. You still need aqueducts. Because this magic system is used for very, for more rare circumstances. Shake him to get the stone. No! Don't shake me! Wait, hold on. I have a thing for you. Alright, Lobo has picked me up. Please don't shake me.
Can't believe chat's bullying me.
Let me scoot closer to my book so I can read it. Alright, so here it's the next part of the book is talking about something called urban fantasy and paranormal romance. Let me check on that. That's something I don't really care about. But for those who want me to read it, I can. So it says here, urban fantasy and paranormal romance take place in a version of the real world where creatures of legend and myth, such as vampires, are real. This creates an extra layer of world building around what is known about the paranormal beings and what remains hidden. Consider if your paranormals are out to the human world. Here, I'm going to do this so you guys can see what I'm reading. Consider if your paranormals are out to the human world, if they stay hidden. If they're out, how does this change the world? How do humans react to them? For example, in Kitty Norville books, some humans see paranormal beings as inherently evil. Consider how governments would react as well. All that fell out was a couple of pennies. It's all those pennies people keep hitting me with. Think about how society views relationships between humans and your paranormal beings. Are they banned or accepted? Are relationships with some paranormals accepted while others aren't? What do paranormal beings think about humans? If the paranormal beings are hidden, how do they remain undetected? Oh. Does their presence affect the world in significant ways that humans remain ignorant of? How do paranormal beings fit into the wider world? Do they get jobs? What kinds of jobs does a vampire or an angel get? How do they change the world just by existing and living their lives? Other things to consider are which paranormal or supernatural beings exist in your world. And then the fictional beings worksheet. We'll check out the worksheet in a bit. If they've always been there or if something recently created them. Oh, okay. So I have a pretty good, where's the story, you cutie bat boy? Oh, the stone.
Ow, 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 I'll never tell.
I'll never tell. You cannot stop me. But I have a good example of this. So, two examples. The hidden world supernatural. It's everywhere. It's been done. Everyone knows about, like, Twilight. Interview with the Vampire. Even, like, Harry Potter, kind of. It's this secret world version of the story. So if it's paranormal in nature or supernatural in nature, not really, humans don't really know about it. Humans don't really understand it. Which, it happens. But this, I actually had a dream about, weirdly enough. The monsters in my dream weren't they were recently created, kind of, and no one knew why it happened. It just sort of happened. Oh, My Hero Academia can also kind of be in this category, though not as much. Bring out the feathers.
Not the feathers, no.
Do not tickle me, I will cry. But yeah, weirdly enough, I had a dream where people started becoming monsters randomly. And they look like your stereotypical, like, horror monsters, kind of. They all became super pallid, like super white, like they lost their skin tone, their skin color, like they went super desaturated, that's the word. Like pale as in desaturated. And some of them had, like, extra pairs of arms, extra pairs of eyes, so there was no monster fucking. Actually, there was the exact opposite. I had a dream that I actually got turned into one of these motherfuckers, and I looked kind of centaur-like. It was pretty interesting. But no, we were hunted for sport. We were hunted for sport. Oh, but it was funny, because I was in, well, it's not funny, I guess, but I was in one of these hunted for sport rings, I guess. And, in my dream, Leon actually came in and saved me like a sweetheart.
And he didn't care what I looked like. He still loved me, and I was very sweet of him.
But yeah, I actually started thinking about this world where people randomly got turned into monsters, and how it would affect a society. And I started kind of making a story around it. And in said story, these monsters, some of them actually work as basically like carnies. They work at haunted houses and stuff. The story that I created, it was like a little short story. It revolved around this little guy, this little normal human dude, because they're still regular humans. His mom was actually a doctor for these, I think they were called the Afflicted. That was the name of the monsters. She was an afflicted doctor, and she helped them alleviate a lot of stuff. Because after this transformation happened a few generations ago, their bodies were just not made to let them, like, live properly. Some of them had, like, lung complications and sight complications, and she was there on standby to help them, which was really sweet. And yeah, her son was actually a friend with, like, a spider monster, a spider afflicted. She had 2 extra pairs of arms, and she worked as a haunted house carny. She played the part of, like, oh, what are they called? Junogumo? They're like the spider girls in Japanese mythology, where they like lull you in and murder you. Something Gumo. But yeah, she like played a part of that. And she had a friend named Sal who worked as a lantern ghost because he was like 7 feet tall. So they dressed him up to look like a lantern ghost to scare people. But yeah, I got to explore what it would be like if suddenly there were supernatural slash horror looking beings that just happened upon the world. And I do think, yes, humans would at first start killing them because they were terrified, because humans will kill anything that they don't understand because they're nuts. But eventually things did become easier, but the supernatural beings in question became second class citizens, essentially. But here, it could go completely different ways. Like, for instance, in Daybreakers, I believe it's called, humans are the second-class citizens, and it's ruled by vampires, who are very open, and are the main people now. And humans are treated as blood bags, while the vampires are the regular people. So you can go either way with this. Oh, wee one! Okay. I will grab wee one.
Here's wee one. Hey, look, we're both small now. We're both chibi. Kiss.
Here, I'll have him right here, hugging me.
He hugging me.
Whoa, hiccup. I'm also going to give myself a booster seat here. There we go. So you guys can see Weemon. Nice movie. Yeah, it was a really cool movie. But yeah, those are 2 examples that you could use. And just see how it works. And then there's plenty of hidden world stories, like I said, Harry Potter, Twilight, anything where it's like, vampires and angels and demons are actually real, but the world doesn't know about it for some weird reason. Like that happens all the time. Love how the first guy that turned back into a human was a gearhead. Yeah, he was fucking dope. I think it was William Dafoe. Was that William Dafoe? I think it was William Dafoe. Anyway. But yes, if your paranormals use magic, you'll need to build a magic system for them, and then we already went over the magic system. So once again, that's like a Harry Potter universe thing. Paranormal beings will also have their own societies and cultures, particularly if they remain cut off from the human world. Once again, Harry Potter. The humans and, or quote-unquote muggles and wizards, have 2 different cultures, 2 different types of fashion, 2 different ways of naming conventions. Weirdly enough, wizards for some reason really like alliteration. For some reason. Like Luna Lovegood, the double L they really like. Anyway, see the chapter on social structure. Yeah, we'll read that next. Now we're going to the next page.
The tiny wee one looks so cute hugging the tiny... Yeah, he hugging me. It's warm. Blah.
Alright, science. Alright, I'm gonna scoot this back up, and I'm going to write down and see what we can do with science. Oh yeah, and 2 different technologies. Especially considering in the HP universe and the Wizarding universe, they have magic for pretty much everything. And anyone can do magic as long as they're old enough. So they don't need, like, washing machines, cars. They don't need technology because the magic can more than cover for it. They also don't need magic for most medical issues, or they need magic for most medical issues. So they didn't develop their medical. Not nearly as much as we have. In fact, there is a thing where, in the books at least, there's a situation where Arthur Weasley has to go to the St. Mungus, or St. whatever it's called, St. Mungus Hospital, and they can't cure him medically for something, they have to wait. But he said, fuck it, give me the human version of what they do. Give me the muggle version of how to stop this. Saint Among Us. I think it's Saint Mundus or something like that.
Tea.
But yeah, he said, fuck it, do it the muggle way. And they went, oh shit, okay, I guess we're doing it the muggle way. So there is definitely two different types of medical. Okay, so now we're going to cover science. Because science is also affected by your magic system. So here it says, in Aliens and Alien Societies, Schmidt argues that science and technology are not the same, though they are related. This workbook takes the same approach and covers technology in the next session. Okay, so we're covering science, not technology. Isn't his job literally to study non-wizard tech? Yeah, pretty much. Mundas? Yes. That is pretty. That is a... I love that emote. That's a good emote. Amy, why do you have so many good emotes? What the fuck? But here it says, according to Schmidt, science is a way of examining and understanding the world. It may not develop in a society at all, though technology always will. Right, like, stone axes are technically a technology because they are a tool that we have invented to make our lives a little easier. And instead of ramming our heads into a tree for weeks on end to get it to cut down, we invented the axe to cut it down instead. So technically, axes are technology. So yes, science and technology are two different things. And you will always develop a technology of some sort because humans will always find a way to engineer something to make things just a little easier on them because shit is difficult. We do so much. Yeah, we're not gonna punch trees here, we're making axes. Okay? But we will always have some sort of technological development in our life. It's how we grow as a society. Science makes the development of technology easier and quicker, however. Therefore, a society with advanced technology will probably have science to match. Well, basically, they still go hand in hand. They're two different subjects, but they still go hand in hand. And the more we understand one, the more we will understand the other. When considering science in your fictional world, remember that the different sciences may develop at different rates in the same society. The soft science may be advanced... Whoa! Win-win! Fire! The natural evolution of science. Fire. Agriculture. VTubers. Welcome in, Win-Win! Thank you for the 7 months! Holy shit! How you doing? You little sweetheart. But yeah, it says here, soft sciences may be advanced and hard sciences are relatively simple, or vice versa. Unless your story centers on science and scientists, you won't need to know everything about science in your world. A general idea of how advanced or not science in your world is enough. Basically, write what you need. Don't go crazy. You don't want to overinflate your writing. And you don't want to over-explain. Hear me out. You do not want to over-explain. That's how you get word dumps. And those aren't fun to read. Unless the person is specifically looking for that, usually people don't give a shit. Citing you a new world-building friend.
Oh, I'm gonna have a new friend. What?
Gimme a Wewin. I want the Wewin. There he is, the Wewin. I'll pin him to my shirt. Right here. Actually, let's make him a little bigger. I'll pin him to my shirt. I pinned him into my body on accident. There we go. Now him and Wee1 can hang out. You have a new one? Aw, hell yeah. So what you're saying is over-explain. No, I'm saying don't over-explain. Don't word dump your people.
Don't word dump your audience. Just slide him into DMs. Yes, thank you. I will be adding him later. I was added. I just realized I was added to a group called Bats. Bats. We are the Bats. Oh my god, Lilin, that's so cute. Yeah, I'll be adding him soon. That's Funkin' Precious. You're sweet. I hope you're doing okay, by the way. Bats, bats, we are the bats. Yes, for those of you who do not know and didn't see it on my Twitter, in about a week and a half from now, I'm going to be doing a bat collab. We're going to be doing a bat collab with a lovely bat by the name of Hydra. Over-explain, overthink. No. Over-explain, underthink. But yes, I'll be doing a bat collab. It's going to be for charity for bats. I'm so excited. But yeah, it'll happen about a week and a half. I'll make an announcement about it soon. We are the small bats that make all the rules. Yes, we are the small bats that make all the rules. Bats, bats, we are the bats. Yes, collab bat. And I'm very excited. I get to hang out with a couple of my bat friends, like Kana. Kana's so sweet. I love Kana Komori. We've raided her a few times. She's the one with the little bat wings on her head, and she's an absolute sweetheart. I got to draw her before I even started live streaming, because I did a bat collab art piece. Collabat, yes, collab. But I'll probably make an announcement of that on my Twitter later, so you guys can know. What do you call a group of bats? Is this a joke, or are you legitimately asking? Because if it's a joke, I'm waiting for the punchline. If it's not, I have Google at my fingertips. Mine? Oh, Wewin. Wewin said, give me all the bats, please. Thank you. Me sits in Wewin's lap. Please read me a story. A cauldron? That'd be adorable. But yes, we'll be doing a bat collab very soon. About a week. I just got handed food. I just got handed food. Oh, genuine question. I'm gonna have to Google it. Because I don't know. Yeah, what's the collective? It's called a collective noun. I think it's called a colony, cauldron, camp, or cloud. There's a lot of words for us. Yeah, their collective noun is a colony or a cauldron, which is very interesting. A bunny. I see. You want me to be bunny. Working on homework right now, so which is fair. Enjoy your homework, Dan. And enjoy the bunny. Here, let me show myself off a little bit. By the way, I am still very proud of this fishnet. That took fucking forever to do. I made every single texture you see on this model, I drew. So, these were a bitch. I'm just gonna say that. These were a bitch to do and line up correctly. Anyway, I am back. I am here. Hello. Hello, chat. How are you doing? There we go. I'm not doing ASMR, I just wanted to be in your ear for a moment. Bunny does inspired by name Bunny Captain? Yes, actually. I said, ooh, I want a bunny outfit. Check and thank me later. Now to edit for like 5 hours. Of course, of course. I might get a little foom. I was handed a Chimki Sammy. Because remember, like I said, Mom dropped off, she came over and dropped off something, but then she randomly popped back in and just threw a burger at me. I wonder if they're still doing the Pokemon thing. That was quite an earful. Alright, let's, yeah, I think I'm gonna munch. I'm gonna munch while I eat. Oh, yeah, the Pokemon thing. Okay, so, a few months ago, I gently and consensually smack Bunny Desmond's ass. Yes, thank you. Here, I'll show you guys real quick how thick I am. See, I'm kind of thick. I'm low-key, I'm thick as fuck. I got the dumpest thickest, okay? Double cheeked up on a Wednesday afternoon. And I am very proud of these textures. I'm also, oh, boob shot. I am also extremely proud of my nails. Look at them. I am very proud of my manicure. Ah! I have disappeared. Hello. How you doing? What? Alright, let's hop back over. I just wanted to show it off because I'm very proud. There we go. Pointy nails, yes, pointy nails. Hella ass, yes. Thick battler, yes. Hello, buenos dias. Oh my god, that reminds me. I've been getting into the habit for some reason. Whenever I get up in the morning and I just take a look at my stupid hair, because fun fact, what you see now is a brushed product, but my hair is cowlicked to fuck. Especially in the morning. I wake up and I look like a cockatrice that got into a fight and is still pissed off. Like everything is sticking up on edge. Can you put a Leon on the thigh? I see. Amy said, I don't care if we see him. I'll know he's there. You know what? Valid. Let's get a little wee one for the thigh. We know he's there. We know he's there. Anyway. But yeah, my hair very flumpy. This is brushed now. But when I wake up, it is a complete massacre. Thyleon, yes, Thyleon. But I've gotten into the habit of when I look at myself in the mirror, I just go, hello, Mr. President. I don't know why. I just see my fucking hair and I'm just like, good morning to you too, sir. What happened? Who'd you fight? Who'd you get in a fight with? I'm opening the Chimkin sandwich. I'm gonna snack while I write and read. Ah, it's gooping! Ow. Desmond looking in the mirror. Salute. Oh, right. You were asking about the Pokemon thing, Gil. Before I forget. Fighting type evolution. Yes. Thyon. But, there was a Pokemon event at, the McDonald's, where, like, if you bought a Happy Meal, you would get, a pack of Pokemon cards, and also a Pikachu-themed, Happy Meal box. And Leon's parents would come over almost every day and drop off a fuck ton of Happy Meals at us and go, save the box and the Pokemon cards and give them to us, but have the food. And we went, well, we have McDonald's now. So when she came in and just threw this at me, I'm like, did she? I don't know. She's very sweet. She's a very sweet lady. I don't know what she's doing, but she's running around. They still did that? Yeah, they had it as an event for a bit. It was really interesting. She's a sweetheart, though. Absolute sweetie pie. And yeah, they just threw it at us. Because, his dad is a card collector, and he does card stuff. So he wanted that. I wonder where Leon gets it from. Leon, by the way, absolutely loves and adores card games, so I wonder who he got it from.
When you want home?
Hey babe. Hey babe. Look what someone did. Oh, wrong one. Hold on. Hold on, I have to show him, guys. I forgot how to move myself. There we go. Babe.
I have a little wee one.
I have a little wee one on my leg. Anyway, let's get back to it. We know he's there. We know. Everyone's screaming wee one.
Wee one.
What exactly is a bust art piece? It is an art piece that goes up to portrait level. So, here, I'll show you an example. Something like this. And this. And this. Where it goes about to the chest. That's a bust art piece. Typhon, my distinguished gentleman. Yes, the distinguished gentleman, the lovely sir. Alrighty, I need to close out this, and we're going to continue on with the book. We're discussing science. So, it says here, to make advanced technology seem plausible, you need real-world science to explain it. I know that's very common with sci-fi. To make this science convincing, it should not contradict anything we currently know about the natural world. If it does, and you don't have a plausible way to explain it, you're getting into the realm of magic. This is perfectly fine, and often accepted in soft sci-fi. Just be aware that's what you're doing. Oh, kind of like Star Wars. So Star Wars is quote-unquote sci-fi, but I would consider it like magical space story, because while it does have a lot of blasters and lightsabers and starships, spaceships, where people could go, okay, cool, I know what this is. my recreation of Minecraft landscape and sugar cubes is nearly complete. Yeah, science fantasy. It feels more like space fantasy. Because it does have aspects of science fiction, but it also has something that we don't really have in our world called metachlorians. Metachlorians is how people control the Force. And people don't even know really what the Force is. They just know it's a thing. But it's a hard rule. It's a universal rule of the entire galaxy. Oh, we one has chicky nuggies. It's a chicken day. But yeah, metachlorians could technically be something quote-unquote scientific, but it is something that we don't have in our natural world, so we would consider it magic. Even though it's technically not, but it is, it's a very nebulous situation. If you're ready to design science accomplishments, I'll go, okay, we're gonna go to the worksheets later. So I'm gonna write all this down real quick. I'm just gonna write down science. Science. And just make sure it lines up with our own. With our own scientific theories. Anything else is magic. There we go. So this makes sure that the technologies and the magic system in place still play around pretty well with the culture. So yeah, your fictional science should still be rooted in real theories and real science that we know about. Not to say you can't invent your own version of some sciences, but it just makes it a lot more grounded because we are creatures of familiarity. And if something scientific starts to stretch a little too far away from what we know as standard science, it starts to become less believable. So, technology. Technology typically goes hand in hand with science as far as development goes, but you don't need both necessarily to have one or the other. So, from swords to spaceships to nanobots, let's design some fun gadgets, it says. I'm very excited. Because I do like technology. I love sci-fi. I love sci-fi, and I love cyberpunk. Why is this Castlevania music wooing me here? It's called I'm the Wind. It's a beautiful song. Babe, this song sounds so romantic. It's called I Am the Wind. It's Symphony of the Night music. It's very sensual. I feel like I'm on a candlelit date. Hi. Anyway. Paprika. He gave me a fry. Thank you. It's so yummy too. Ow. He gave me fry. he romantically put a fry in my mouth. Num num. Alright, technology. From swords to spaceships to nanobots, we're designing. So I'm gonna write it down. Technology. Even if you write fantasy, take some time to design the technology in your world. Right. Any tool is considered technology. Like I explained, you could have a fucking stone axe. That is a technology. You don't have to have crazy, like, robotics. Romance is in the air. Now's my time to sit in a tree and gently shake rose petals into the fan for the lovebirds. Leon, I'd be like, have fry. Yes, have fry. Thank you. Thank you, darling, for fry. Cecil can't have that. I saw him reach out and let Cecil look at a nugget. Semsel Numget. Yeah, he can have a little bit of chicken as long as you take off all the stuff. I'm sure that's fine. Cecil's a spoiled little brat. We spoil him. Alright. The importance of technology in a science fiction world is obvious, but even in a fantasy or paranormal romance world full of magic, technology is still crucial. For example, farming with a plow, battling with swords, and building castles are all forms of technology. The level of technology affects all aspects of society. For example, technology determines how people travel. Has your society developed the wheel? Does it have good roads to enable quick travel? Or perhaps it uses flying cars or teleportation instead? Yeah, if you have a magical means for something that could be filled with technology, like if you, let's say, you know, like I said, you have a stone axe, but let's say we don't need stone axes because we have magic that lets you just slice through the wood and then carry the logs telepathically or telekinetically. We won't really need to invent the stone axe because we don't need it. So anything that magic can do, you will usually not find technology to cover that. Like I said, in the Harry Potter universe, people can pretty much just wash their dishes by just flicking a wand at them. They're not going to need dishwashers. Magic covers that. Same thing with flying. They use brooms and enchanted carpets or whatever the fuck. They use animals and carriages. They don't need cars. They don't need planes. They use a train, yes, but the train is because it's connected directly to the Muggle world. It's how most Muggle-born, like Platform 9 3/4, it's usually how a lot of Muggle-borns get there as well. So, yeah, stuff like that. Technology also determines how people communicate. Has your fictional society developed the printing press for mass distribution of books? Are pens and paper easily and cheaply produced? If not, only the rich will be able to send letters. Also true. For the longest time, we actually used, well, in the, I guess, let's go back to ancient Egypt, actually. Let's not look at Europe for a minute. Ancient Egypt had something called papyrus, and they also had bamboo reeds that they used for writing. They just dip it in some ink, and they just go to town. So, they did have a form of writing that the Phoenicians actually took advantage of. And the Phoenicians became a powerful trading society for a while because they had the new technology of writing in their hands, plus their newly formed, not alphabet, it was an abjad, which is like a proto-alphabet.
Blue. Hello, Blue.
Also, yes, language is also considered a technology. If you have a writing system, that is a technology. But yeah, for a while, it made those guys really fucking powerful with that shit. They could keep up with the trades they made. And then over time, languages evolved. We still had some paper, we had scrolls, but then whenever we hit the Middle Ages and we lost some of that technology, we started or I guess we didn't lose the technology, we just found better ways for paper to be, sturdy, I guess, which is why a lot of books from that era still survive. It's because we were technically using, a sheepskin. We were using young sheepskin, as paper. I believe it is called parchment. I think that's what the original word for parchment meant. It is the tanned and whitened skin of a sheep. And then they'd use that as paper for a lot of books, especially really high-end commissioned books. And most books were commissions. They were commissions from the rich. The rich, let's say, Duke has a book that he really likes, and he wants a copy for his friend. He would bring this book to a monastery, to a monk, to a scribe, someone who knew how to write, and then he'd say, I want this book copied. And then they'd copy it. And it would take months, but they'd copy it, and then he'd have now 2 books. So, yes, it just depends on how easily you can get your hands on this stuff. Does everyone own a device capable of instant communication anywhere in the galaxy? Ooh, like, do you have, like, awake calls, like, click? And, like what we do, we have our cell phones where we can literally call anyone across the fucking world. And, let's say 100 or so years in the future, or, maybe not 100, maybe 200 or 300 years, maybe we have a satellite system that hops all the way to Mars and the Moon because we have colonies there. And, you know, I want to talk to my homie, Derek on Mars. I could just call him up and boop, satellites connect us. Maybe there will be a little bit of lag compared to talking to someone on Earth, but that's something we could probably do at some point. So, something like that. Technology and warfare is another big issue to think about. The development of technology often goes hand in hand with war. Furthermore, the more advanced a society's technology, the more advanced and deadly their weapons. Unless they've moved beyond war. Also true. The victory... I have to cough, hold on. There we go.
Blah, blah, blah.
But yes, often victory is determined by your technology. So a society that has rudimentary bows and arrows or poison darts are going to be nothing compared to someone who has just invented the gun. They will fucking lose. Yes, a little shout out for Blue. Mwah. Sweet baby Blue. You chaotic motherfucker.
Look how cute they are. Little baby.
Their laugh is cute. But yes, if the technology is better, more than likely the ways of which to fight are also better, and they're going to stomp whoever they are better at technologically. It says here, yeah, any technology or magic power you introduce is going to have far-reaching effects. Going with the invisibility example, you'd have people using it to spy on each other. Yeah, let's say you can be,
Oh, okay. Have a good lurk, Rose. Go play your kalimba.
but yeah, let's say you have an ability that makes yourself invisible. You're going to be a spy or an assassin. It's gonna be nuts. You'd also have a huge boom in heat sensors. We'd start redefining the whole concept of privacy, and it might be legal to shoot an invisible intruder on sight or on smell. Interesting. Remember that magic and technology often exist side by side. If your world has magic, consider what tasks are usually... Yeah, this is what I was just talking about. Me as an assassin commits arson. Usagi, why is it always arson with you? Why are all of my children just enthralled by arson? If your world has magic, consider what tasks are usually accomplished with magic and what tasks are usually accomplished with technology. How do the two interact to help or hinder each other? Once again, like I said, in the Harry Potter universe, they don't have a whole lot of technology because they don't need it. Magic covers pretty much every base that they have. Because chaos, because fire!
Oh, hi, Sam.
Am I gonna have to take away the lighter? Probably. You might have to take away the lighter. But yes, if you have a magic system in place, you will need to look at it to see how it will affect the culture technologically as well. So if you have a magic system that covers bases that tech would otherwise cover, you're not gonna see that created. Oh, there it goes. But yeah, you're not gonna see that tech advance at all because they don't need it. Alright, back to social... Okay, so I'm gonna write down technology. Makes life easier. More advanced tech wins. This is what we are covering. And tech won't develop... My handwriting is terrible. Tech won't develop where magic fills. Basically, if magic fills that role or that need, you don't need tech for it. Alrighty, finally, we are going to something. We're gonna talk about social structures. Hey yo, I'm here for social structures. Social structures. Social structures are great. Now, just like in my sheet that I had pulled up, I do have stuff for science and tech, but I don't cover it that hard, I guess. But I do cover social structure very, very well. So let's look this over. It says here, society is based on conflict and cooperation. How a group of people ensures cooperation within the group, how it ensures cooperation with other groups, and how it handles conflict. When constructing a civilization, researching ethology, which is animal behavior, might help. Civilizations are built, at least in part, on the behavior of the being's evolutionary ancestors. For example, a society of people who evolved from herbivores that lived in large herds will be very different from a human or werewolf society. Also, I'm gonna use ants as an example. Ants, wow, my throat cut out. Ants, as well as bees and termites and some versions of wasps, they are an extremely eusocial species, so they're going to be different from humans as well. They're going to work very, very differently in terms of societal structure. Because while humans, yes, some cultures have to do with the group and group cooperation. I know in a lot of societies, especially now because of its Western influence, it's very individualistic, and we kind of, I wouldn't say we elevate it, but we certainly encourage competitive competitive like nature, especially in like the workplace. So we are a very much focus on yourself, individualistic nature, at least in the Western cultures.
And that's called late stage capitalism being toxic.
But anyway, why am I hearing challenges? Hajime no Ippo, stars. Nice. Also, yes, let's pet your little halfling, your punchy halfling. We love her. When designing your society, keep in mind the planet, geography, climate, magic, science, and tech you created earlier. Yes, I've actually covered all of this on the channel before, and we did cover it a little bit again when reading this book. You have to really take in everything that you've set up, which is why world building can be such a daunting task, because if you're just like, I want to make a race of cute spider girls, you get to sit there and go, what does that do for the rest of the world? Oh shit. So remember that all parts of society are interconnected with each other, as well as the other areas of world building covered in this guide. Yes, everything is connected. Now, love and relationships. Oh, I see. As you can see, we have the creative battler explaining races and worlds in a documented fashion. Listen, shush. I know I'm a documentarian guy. Alright, so love and relationships. Wow, I can't write. My pen may be pretty, but my handwriting is shit. Alright, personal connection is the basis of all social groups. Yeah, you kind of need to get along with each other in order to form a social understanding. Consider the kinds of relationships that are valued in your fictional society. Is friendship important, or is the focus on family? How do people form relationships, both romantic and platonic? Do they find each other on their own? Do they have fated mates, like werewolves? Do they practice arranged marriages? Consider how romantic partners is considered... Why did they word it that way? I'm just gonna say, take in how many romantic is considered acceptable or common as well. Yeah, that words. Family. Reproduction. Oh, here, let's write this down. So basically, love and relationships. How do they go about that? Are they like, for example, the Trakovish? We've discussed my underlings before. They usually have a system where you marry for family and prestige, and you marry for alliance, and that's it. You don't have to know your partner, your new husband. You don't even, or your wife, you don't even have to like them. You just have to marry them, have a kid with them to hold down the line, and then you are free to just separate yourself from them. You still have to live with them, of course, but it's not really looked down upon if you take a paramour, because you're not really expected to fall in love with the person you marry. It sucks, but that's just how they're focused on as a society. Granted, sometimes there is love. Sometimes you will immediately be like, oh shit, I'm getting married to that cutie? But most of the time, that's not how it works. The Trakovish don't really have a society where they agree with the person that they're getting married to, because it's all made by their parents. Their parents are the ones that do this this arrangement. The kids have nothing to do with it. So most of the time, they just secure the line of this alliance by having a child, and then the two are pretty much just living in separate spaces of the house. They possibly have a paramour, just stuff like that. And will it be one-sided sometimes? Sometimes, but most of the time not really. So, a family. Let's look at family. Reproduction and child rearing will shape a society. For example, in a society with polygyny family structure, many men won't marry and have families, at least not... polygyny? Many men won't marry and have families, at least not in the traditional sense. What other roles does society offer them? Polygyny is when it is a woman marrying many men, which is actually a society that does exist. There are a couple of societies like that. Typically, the woman will marry a handful of guys, and usually it will be him and his brothers. And she'll take these guys into her home as a sort of arrangement. I need to look that up. I can't remember which society that is. Oh no, it's having more than one wife at a time. But there is one that has something else. I think it's polyandry. It's when a wife takes on many husbands. I have to find that that thing. I believe they were in Asia. It's a society in Asia. I don't remember which society it was. But it was something that intrigued me, because I'm like, oh shit, we actually have the opposite? I've only ever heard of patriarchal systems doing that. And it was only with dudes. Oh, why am I getting patted? Pat, Usagi, pat, 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 pat.
Pata, 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 pata.
Alright. Relating to family structure and gender roles, the behavior that society expects of individuals based upon their sex. Gender roles apply within the family and the wider society. And then we have a table here. So, family structure can be a patriarchy. Let's write that down. Patriarchy. And a patriarchy is basically the men are the authority of the house, or the owners of the house. They're the authority. There we go. And then conversely, there is matriarchy. When the women are considered the authority within the house. There we go. And then there is something called alloparenting. Children are cared for by people other than their biological parents. Basically, the whole concept of it takes a village to raise a child. They don't really process, or I guess they don't really take into consideration who the biological parents are. The kids are all clustered together, and they're all raised by the same group of people. It can also go towards adoption, cared for by people other than their biological parents, either exclusively or in addition to. So basically, you could have just a bunch of people. Didn't emperors take concubines along with an empress? Yes. Emperors actually, there was a whole system, especially in China. There was a system of emperors and their concubines. He had like an empress, and then he had a bunch of concubines that had like a bunch of different titles, and then below her there was like maids that he could take on anyway. Like, it was crazy. But let's see. Allo parent. Yeah, you're raised by someone, not your parents. Or you're raised by a group of people rather than just your parent. Oh, well, no, never mind. That wouldn't really work. I was gonna give another example, but the example's flimsy. And then there is something called fictive kin, or found family. People who are not biologically related, but are considered family. Basically, our favorite trope in this house. There we go. Found family. Now, there's still more. Oh my god. There is something called extended family, which is a matrilocal or patrilocal. Basically, multiple generations of a family living in the same house. Kind of like Mexican families. I know it's very common in Mexico for families to live in multiple generations. You'll have grandmothers and great-grandmothers, grandfathers and great-grandfathers living with their children and their children's children. They're just in this big house together, all living together. We've seen Encanto. Abuela was the one in charge, but she was living with her family. She was the matriarch of the house. And not only did she have her kids, she had her kids' kids, and understandably, whenever one of those children, one of her grandchildren get married, and they have children, they're gonna stay in that whole house, and she's still going to be in charge. The family's just gonna stay in one big old pile. Let's see. For here it says, for example, a married couple and their children living with siblings and parents. In a matrilocal system, a married couple lives with the wife's family. In a patrilocal system, they live with the husband's family. Yeah, so basically, when a married couple gets together, they'll move in with the mother, or the wife's family. And these are called, lineages or locals. Just got read by a book. Check VC chat. What? You just got read by a book? What does that mean? I'm trying to find it. Hold on. There it is. To all the monster fuckers out there, this book is for you. Don't pretend that you've never wanted to be railed by some human-eating dark entity that has a skull for a face. You saw the cover, you knew what you were getting yourself into, and you still chose to open this book and read it. God damn. You got fucking roasted, Amy. You got fucking... Oh. I'm sorry. It's not wrong, though. You're right. I love my I love my Wheezy emote. It makes me happy. It brings me joy. Alright, so, I'm gonna come down here and put local, as in... well, hold on. Matri and Patri local. So, Matri, Patri local. And this is, I believe it's also called lineal as well. Matrilineal and patrilineal. It's when you move in with that family. Move in to that extended family. There we go. And then, of course, there is polygamy, polygyny, and polyandry. A person has multiple spouses. Or, that's hard to say for me. The gyne refers to having multiple wives, while andry refers to having multiple husbands. Mm-hmm. So, basically, polygyny is wives. Polyandry is husbands. And I believe polygamy is just a universal term if you have both wives and husbands. So, group marriage. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about group marriage. I believe ancient China also practiced group marriage. Although their group marriage was a little weird back then. We're not going to discuss that today. But it's a group of adults who are married to each other in like a literal group. Group of adults married to each other. And then we have walking marriage. Oh, I remember these. Japan used to be like this for a while. Walking marriages. Married partners or sexual partners do not live in the same house. Children are raised by their mother and her family. Basically, the dad don't live there. Or conversely, if the father's watching the children, the mom won't live there. that's usually what they had for Japan's first marriages in the, like, I believe it was pure feudal system, or pre-feudal system. Uh, walking marriage. But yeah, they used to have it where a guy would get married to a lady. She was typically older than him, and she was basically like his sugar mama. As stupid as that sounds. And it was a walking marriage. He didn't live with her. He just came, saw her, they did some stuff once in a while, and he'd leave. And she was his financial dowager. Yeah, she was his financial, basically, how do I word this? Without sounding stupid. Low-key, though, what's the fuck called? Talking like, okay, listen, I know it's World to See Wednesday, but Amy, bitch, give me the details on this book. She was the bank, kinda. She was his financial sponsor, I guess. I should say. And then later he'd take on a second wife, which is his wife for love, and whatever else he wants. But his first marriage is always usually an older woman who had money to throw around. Partners do not live together. There we go. Alrighty. Now there is something here called a social stratification. I believe this is social classes. A Soul to Keep by Opal Rain. Okay, there you go, Usagi. Go get you that monster fucker book. Now I want to look into it. Hold on. She said something about a cover, and I want to see what the cover looks like. I'm very curious. Oh, it's a movie. Is that a book or a movie? Oh no, this is the movie. Hold on, I gotta Google her name too, because it's apparently Opal Rain. Oh. Opal Rain. I don't see the cover, I'm sad. I'm so sad, I can't find it. There's so many books called A Soul to Keep. It looks really cool though. All these books do. Check VC chat. Oh, okay. Bruh! He looks so cool! Hold up. He looks like what is that creature? It's like a skull demon someone designed. It looked really dope. It's like a Wendigo looking thing. Bruh, he looks fucking cool. What is this? Ow! Yeah, the cover looks fucking dope. Alright, so social stratification. You know what? I blame Magus Bride for that. Magus Bride popularized skull monsters. Animal skull monsters. SCP-1471, look at the head ass. Yeah, that's what I was saying. SCP-1471 is based off of an art piece that someone made of some sort of creature that they made. And that's what it looked like to me. I have to find that piece though, it's really pretty. It's just a cool horror art piece that someone made. I know they also wore it. It's like not a costume, not a cosplay. It's like a costume that they made, and it's really cool looking. It looks so fucking badass. And I think it's called like a zombie werewolf or something, or like some sort of wendigo. And it looks real sick. Alright, I have something for all you monster fuckers too. Here, 1 out of 10, would you? I put it in BC chat for those. 1 out of 10, how hard you smash it. Anyway, social stratification. Social stratification creates a hierarchy that establishes a person's position in society. The resource. Why, Amy said? The resources and opportunities they have access to, such as education, money, food, and healthcare, and their lifestyle. Class, usually defined as socioeconomic class, is the most widely known form of social stratification. Basically, it's what kind of social class you got. You called. Hi, Kimi. Yeah, apparently someone wrote a book about a monster that looks like SCP-1471. It's in VC. Oh, wait, never mind. But, yes, one of the social stratifications is socioeconomic. Socioeconomic. I should probably make my pen smaller, huh? Just to make it a little easier to write. Economic. There we go. Socioeconomic has to do about money, mostly, because it's economic. A person's place in society is based on the amount of wealth they earn or inherit. Kind of like what we're in. We're in a socioeconomic class system. Class systems aren't necessarily labeled anymore, but we certainly do say upper class, middle class, lower class. And people who are usually more poor or very low income are considered lower class, and people who are high income are considered upper class. They're the ones that have a lot more resources at their disposal because they have the money for it. So, socioeconomic class, money. And wealth. Distribution. Basically, how much money do you have to throw around? Guess what? You can now make sure you have healthcare. Slavery. A slavery system is where some people are considered property. They are bought, sold, and forced to work. So, people are property. Although I will get into that, there are different nuances to slavery. I know that, let's say, if you ain't got muns, hun, you don't get buns. Yeah, basically. There are different types of slavery. Now, the slavery that we got to, unfortunately, experience for the past, I don't know, 200 years, 250... 200-ish years in the Americas, including North and South, because South America also dealt with the slave trade, was absolutely fucking awful and abysmal. It was the worst form of slavery any human being has ever known. Because up until that point, there is slavery and then there's indentured servitude. True. Indentured servitude, you're still treated like a person, but you still have to work off some sort of debt. Slavery, you are literally bought and sold. As an indentured servant, you cannot be bought and sold. You choose how you pay off your debt. But slaves don't get an option. That's the problem. It was a little more than 150 years. Yeah, it was nuts. Microfly your voice. God damn it. But yeah, It was bad, and it was one of the worst forms of slavery on the fucking planet. And before all of that, slavery usually worked, as a punishment or a mark of victory. For instance, in ancient Roman and Greek times, especially in ancient Rome actually, had a dependence on its slave system. You could purchase bunnies.
I want to purchase a bunny.
Grab a bunny. But the Roman society actually was dependent on the slave system that they had. And because normally their slaves were, yes, they were manual workers, but they could also be doctors. They could be your house attendants. They could literally have access to everything you did. And typically, they could get out of it. They could buy their way out. They weren't stuck in slavery for multiple generations. And sometimes slaves actually married into the family and ended up getting their freedom from slavery that way. That's typically how it worked until a good old England decided to well, it wasn't just England, it was also Spain. Spain was also pretty bad about this. And honestly, a lot of Europe was pretty bad about it, but yeah, until that was basically what slavery was. And also, I know in Aztec civilizations and Mayan civilization, you weren't technically a slave, but you were technically an indentured servant for a while if you committed a crime against a certain person or family. You were temporarily their, I guess, indentured servant until they paid off their crime.
Oh, Cecil, don't scratch that. That's what we want. You cannot have that.
But yeah, there is a bit more to just slavery than, oh yeah, people are property. Yes, but they could get out of it until, you know, we fucked that up. Feudalism. Feudalism is also a situation. I spelled feudalism wrong. And I believe Japan had this as well as Europe, but it's a social hierarchy based on land holdings. The king owns all the land and grants holdings to nobles and knights in exchange for military service. Resistance is feudal. Yes. So basically, there was a king, and then he would distribute his land into different cut pieces to dukes, counts. That's where we get the terms duchies, counties. They were all these little vassals underneath the king, because have fun controlling all that land and people. No, you need vassals. And that's what the feudal system is. And typically, yes, you will have knights in exchange for the military. You can draft these people. What if I choose to resist? Well, then you just have to be prepared to die. And it says, nobles and knights grant holdings to farmers, also known as serfs, in exchange for labor. The serfs are at the bottom of the social hierarchy. Yes. So basically, here's all the landowners, and here are the people that work on the land. Essentially. And that's kind of, like I said, that's how Europe worked for a while, where the king owned all the land because he is now the one that killed the other king or whatever. And now you're a part of that kingdom. So, I almost wrote trickle-down economics. Kings, vassals, working class. Yeah, it's like a little social class of a pyramid. So, caste system. Caste systems I like to play with because they're really fun. Because there's so much you could do with it. So, the Trakovish are also a caste system. And I'm going to be using them as an example for this. The caste system is a social hierarchy based on inherited membership in a caste. It's a fixed system, meaning that people cannot move between castes. So yes, a fixed caste. A fixed class system. So basically, in a caste system, if you want to be a priest, for example, and you were born a farmer, you are fucked. You cannot be a priest. You have to be a farmer because your parents were a farmer your grandparents were a farmer, and more than likely, your mom and dad both came from farming or labor families and got married because of that caste system. You cannot marry above or below your caste system. It's forbidden. Take the dwarves in Dragon Age Origin. Oh god, I don't remember their caste system. I never oh fuck. Okay, I played one dwarf and that's it, but everything else I played elves because I loved the elves. I'm gonna have to look into that because I don't know their system, but I believe you. It sounds like some shit they'd do. But yes, he got sword thrown at him by a watery tart. What does that mean? But yes, caste systems are very much just, no, you have to stay in your line, in your lane, and if you die, when you die, you could reincarnate to a higher caste. You got this. If you were good, and that's basically how they keep people in line for that. And then finally, a classless society. I fucking wish. God, I wish. And this is called egalitarian. So classless. I fucking wish. It's an egalitarian. Oh, hello there, Mr. Dackett. I almost said Murdackett. I'm like, that's not correct. Welcome into the back cafe. I'm sorry you have to see me like this. But welcome in, welcome in. I hope you enjoy your stay and have a lovely cup of tea while you're here. Oh, I see. Wee one handed me flies. Oh, pog. I'm gonna warm this up soon and nom it. Ah! Oh, thank you. Alrighty, but yes, a classless system. I'm about to get one. Hell yeah. I'm actually drinking tea right now. It's really yummy. But it's an egalitarian society that has no social hierarchy. Social harmony is valued among wealth, power, and status. Sadly, I cannot think of a single society that has this. Harmony and happiness, I guess. Yes, we do not have anything that's truly egalitarian because there will always be people out there. Yes, I've shown the Whittle Wee one. I've shown him the Thyleon. But, yeah. I sadly don't think we have a truly classless society. If we do, it's one that I can't recall off the top of my head easily. So, government and politics. Now, I'm gonna grab up my sheet as well and see how well we're doing here. Where is it? Culture template. Here we go. So, average intelligence, communication, languages, dialects, blah, 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 blah. Social hierarchy, somebody, blah, 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 blah. Festivals, birthdays, blah, blah, blah. Culture. Here we go. I have religions, medicine, education, history, family, laws, traditions. Okay, so we have everything that this is as well. It's just not as detailed. And family structure, there it is. Yes, we are in a social thing. Government. Alright, so here, I've distributed my stuff into two different sections. I have social stuff, and then I have cultural stuff. Because I consider, while yes, there are... Because all of this I consider social. I consider social and culture stuff different. So social structures like love, family, social stratification, that all goes in my social stuff. I should buy the Resident Evil games while they're on sale. I mean, yeah, go for it. But yes, I put in family here. I also put genders and gender roles, sexualities, a social hierarchy, which is what we just worked on. Where is it? Pets, festivals, birthdays, anything to do with relationships with other people. Relationships, family structure, courtship, marriage, funerals, trading, alliances, and who you're warring with. So I kind of squished them all like that. Government and politics, however, I consider more cultural than social. But who knows? Maybe it should be a more social thing. But I do consider it culture. So, government. So it says here, the type of government has a huge effect on society and daily life. Even a small government with few laws will impact daily life, as there will be little law enforcement and a lack of investment in public services and infrastructure. Basically, if it's the Wild West, it's the Wild West, motherfucker. When creating your fictional society's government, keep in mind that the form of government grows out of a society's history. And we all, once again, have a table that we can refer to. It gets gun for the Wild West, yes. So, the type of government that they have here look a little funky, but something here is called a Council of Elders, and it says age is equated with wisdom, so a council of elderly people govern the group. This type of government is more common in tribes than large societies. Yeah, basically, think some smaller groups, I know some Native American groups did this as well. I don't know which ones, because sadly, it's hard to get that kind of information. I don't know if it was the Cherokee, but there were a few that did this. So, an elder council, where basically old people told you what to do. And that's because they are older and they are wiser. Aged leaders. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they are... I mean, this could also go in hand with some sort of other ruling system as well, as long as the elders are the ones typically making the decisions. Leadership by right of combat! Oh my god. That's a hell of a government system. A person becomes group leader by defeating the current leader in combat. Fight and win. Be leader. Basically, you fight the dude who was the leader. This would be really good for, like, werewolf civilization, weirdly enough. Like, you're sick of your old alpha being an asshole, or you're sick of... I mean, I say alpha, but that's not correct on how wolves actually handled, but let's say for the fantasy fact of werewolves, you know, your alpha's being a dick and you want to be the leader now. You go fight that motherfucker. And then if you win, you get to be in charge now. This is probably typically seen in animals as well. The strongest of the animal is now the leader, because they can beat your ass. So if you have if you want to make your fantasy race of people want to seem more attached to their animalistic side, let's say you made a race of hyenas, and you want them to seem really primal, leadership by combat. Boom. Done. Theocracy is next, and that is when, I don't even have to read this, that's when the church rules your shit. Theocracy. It says here, the group is ruled by a religious leader who claims to have a direct connection with one or more deities. So basically, it's a society that listens more to religion than anything else. The church and state has not been separated. And to some degree, I remember fighting the leader of my old pack. Shit was wild. Yeah. But basically, religious leaders, theocracy is kinda, sort of, what ancient Egypt was. Not quite. But, there is a term called a priest king. And this was also in, like, Mesopotamia as well, where a lot of kings were typically the product of a king and a priest's daughter. Not all the time, but they liked to keep it together because the church wanted to stay in power alongside their leaders. So that's close. Absolute monarchy. All right, that I almost said it as anarchy. So a monarchy, or absolute monarchy. So there's a difference between absolute monarchy and constitutional monarchy. Absolute monarch. Would old Japan fall under that? Of an absolute monarchy? Or a theocracy? So this is basically, the monarch has absolute power, and they're not limited by a constitution or law. So a monarch with full power. With the emperor being basically a god. Yeah, kinda. A bit. They would consider it some sort of theocracy. Now, not necessarily if the priesthood in that society, if the priesthood didn't have any political power, then no. Not really. Alright, so, beside absolute monarchy, there's also something called a constitutional monarchy. And this has to do with a monarch, but their power is limited. Now, this power can be limited by a lot of things. It could be limited by some sort of law system that's already been put in place that they have to follow in order to keep their people happy. But it could also be because they have a council that also has political power with them. Maybe these council members, these parliament members, are vassals from different regions, and they want to have a say in what's going on because they also rule part of these places. Sure, the king is the top dog of everything, but they, let's say the dukes and the duchy rulers and the county rulers, they want to have a say because they have a slice of the pie. Because the king has entrusted them with this. So basically kind of like that. It can also be where the monarch just has no power at all, and the monarch's role is ceremonial, a la modern-day England. The queen, and now the king, I don't remember his name, I feel bad, but Queen Elizabeth was a constitutional monarch. She was a figurehead more than she was a power, more than she was someone who governed anything. So I could see how that also lines up like that. Social anarchism.
Hell yeah. Anarchy.
So the means of production are owned by all members of society, and all organizations are subject to democratic control. All right, let me write a little bit more in here. Social anarchism. So from what I understand here, it says production is owned by all members of society, and all organizations are subject to democratic control. I'm trying to process what that means, because that's not communism. Communism is something different. It's when the government owns everything, and you have to rely on the government for stuff. But this says it's controlled and owned by all members of society. So let me look into this a little more, because this is the first time I've heard about social anarchism. Brains of art. Oh yeah, it is kind of like communism, but it's different. It's a little different. It says here, it emphasizes community and social equality as complementary to autonomy and personal freedom. It attempts to accomplish this balance through freedom of speech, which is maintained in a decentralized federalism, with freedom of interaction and thought and subsidiarity. Social anarchism has been the dominant form of anarchism. Okay. So, kind of libertarian. Kind of.
Whoa! Fangy! Thank you for the biddy!
But yes, very interesting. Yeah, it's like a combination of socialism and anarchism together. And it's sort of like communism, but instead of the government owning everything, at least I think that's what communism is. You're not allowed to wear a costume to work on Spooky Day. Oh no! Also, welcome in, Sheehan. How you doing? But yeah, I'll look more into that to actually help explain it. But it says production is owned by all people. We are all governing. And all organizations are subject to democratic control. So, basically, if we don't like Jeff Bezos and how he handles his company, we could vote him out. As a people. I think that's what I'm hearing. That's what it sounds like. Alright, military dictatorship. Ah, yeah. We're getting into it now. Alright, we all know what a dictatorship is. A power rests exclusively with the military. Like all dictatorships, it's an authoritarian form of government where political dissent is repressed.
Oh no, you don't have chicken. Go get the chicken.
Also, I'm not in the VC, Fangy. Well, Usagi, you gotta go get Fangy. You gotta go get him. But welcome in, everyone. For those of you who do not know me, hello, hello. I am Desmond Dracula. I'm a vampire bat butler, also known as a battler. I go by he, him pronouns, and I like to draw as well as Worldbuild on Wednesdays. I also play a variety of games from RPGs to roguelikes. Thank you for the bag rolling ASMR, darling. Mwah. Cute. But, yes, here, military dictatorship, basically it's run by a dictator. It's run by, specifically the military power that he has. Because a dictator is usually the one in control of the military. And it's an authoritarian government. That he's in total control. It's not a monarchy, not necessarily, but he's definitely in control, and he represses political dissent. If people don't like him, the dictator will try to get rid of them and snuff them out. Oligarchy! That is something what I technically think we are nowadays. At least here in the good old US of A, we are kind of technically an oligarchy. Power rests with a small group of people, distinguished by royalty, wealth, military control, or corporate control. Hear me out. I'm not actually gonna get into that, but I personally believe we are technically in an oligarchy. We say it's a democracy and a republic. It feels like an oligarchy. It's really, like, because do we really have control over who gets in the government? No. It's who you know and how long you've been playing their game. I'm just gonna say that. So, you have to play by their rules. It doesn't matter how good you are at being a leader. If you don't play by the rules, you don't get to be a part of this small group. And typically, you need to be really rich to do campaigns. You need to have corporate control on some level. You need to have media control on some level. It's an oligarchy. We're in an oligarchy. Anyway, so power rests with small group. If I can spell group. Distinguished by power. Distinguished by money. Wouldn't that be communist too? An oligarchy? I don't know. I'm not sure. We're technically an oligarchy because we're in late stage capitalism and anyone who has money is on top of the food chain while everyone else can't do shit. And if you have the money, you can climb yourself to power. Alright, so next is something called a technocracy. Oh, power rests with the technical elite, such as scientists and engineers. Leaders are chosen based on skill in their field. That doesn't exist. Oh, because a smaller group controls the whole. It depends on how he got there, because it's distinguished by royalty, wealth, or military control, so probably. But yes, technocracy. Technocracy. A technocracy has to do with scientists, engineers, and skilled people being leaders. Which is something I have never seen before. Scientists and engineers as leaders. And then there's something called a direct democracy. Don't mind my shitty handwriting. And it's when all citizens debate and vote on legislation. This is a slow process and it works the best in smaller groups. Basically, y'all vote on it. You vote on it. Vote. You vote on it. Now, with that, there's also something, which is what we say we are, but it's only half true now, something called a democratic republic. Citizens elect representatives who develop and vote on legislation on behalf of the people. Basically what we kind of say we are, although how our representatives are chosen is oligarchic in nature. But yes, typically it goes to where you're like, oh, I like this campaigner. I'm gonna vote for them to be my mayor because I like their ideals and I trust them to be my mouthpiece whenever the time comes for them to do legislations. So that is a democratic republic. There we go. So you vote for a person to do things for you. You hear someone out, you like, I like their stuff, I'm gonna vote for them. Next on our list is economy. Ooh. Alright, economy. How people obtain what they need is important in daily life and in structuring a society. Economy includes currency, trade, farming, manufacturing, division of labor, and black markets. In creating an economy for your world, consider who controls the flow of money and the flow of goods. And it shows us a table. So, I have a hiccup. Help. Now, there is there's an economy called subsistence. And you will usually see a subsistence economy in very small groups. I want to know what would happen to campaigns in the US if the budgets for them were limited to 10K each, and that's all they were allowed to spend. Oh god. You know what I really fucking wish we could do? If we could just vote for where our taxes go. Like, whenever I'm filing for my taxes, why can't I checkmark what percentage of what goes where? Like, why can't I choose 80% of my taxes to go to education? Like, come on. And then I'd send the rest of it to health. Maybe I'd split it at 70-30. But, like, what the fuck? Let me do that. I want to see what the numbers would look like if people were allowed to choose where their taxes go. That would be fucking great. It would be absolutely beautiful. I mean, for all government office. Yeah, I think we do need to make our term limits a lot smaller, because they're not. Alright, but a subsistence is a bit like what you would see in small groups where the community produces only what you need to survive. Think of like the beginning of a Minecraft server. You're all in a little group, and you're all creating what you need. You're producing and grabbing what you need to stay alive. Community. Oh, and welcome back, Sky. Community makes what they need. This also means that there's probably not going to be any sort of trading, not right away. Because, well, at least, it feels kind of communal in a way, but it also feels like, they're producing what they need, which means that they don't necessarily need to trade with others to get what they need. And then there's something called, colonialism, which is what we used to have, or imperialism. Imperialist colonialism. I'm just going to put colonialism. And this is a system designed to funnel resources from the colonies to the center of the imperial power. Basically, does my Minecraft fan server win? I do want to make a server one day. I do want to, but I want it to be a mod pack. I have to see which mods I want. But I do know I want to circle them around the Origins mod, because I want to make fantasy races for people to be. I think that'd be fun. But yes, colonialism, basically a power, an imperial power of some sort, takes over a country or a region and then starts sapping it for its resources. It usually leads to the exploitation of people in the colonies in order to extract greater profit from their labor. Exactly. It funnels resources from colonies. There we go. And yeah, we used to have this. Oh, Lobo is dead.
Oh, because it's like giving him a smooch. Cute.
And then there is free market. And I believe this is sort of what we're in. Government, oh, well, kind of. The government does not regulate business or the economy. The economy is driven by supply and demand. A few laws exist to protect workers from exploitation. Hi, we're in free market capitalism.
Ah! Aw, hi, Blippi!
You're a cute dork.
Wah, thank you for the pity.
But yes, non-regulated, non-government regulated. Non-government regulated market. Basically, you can have scalpers. You can have CEOs taking advantage of their workers. It's almost like that's what we're in right now. Woo! Alright, communism. We all know what that is. Communism. Communism. All property is owned communally. Because everyone shares everything, there are no rich or poor. In fact, communism is difficult to maintain, and it usually descends into an oppressive system. Yeah, communism is extremely difficult, because everyone owns everything. We need lowercaseism. So, communal owning. And that gets very difficult to maintain because the government can be corrupt real quick. But so can the free market. Free market can get corrupted real quick. All of these are, except for subsistence, seems like it's fine-ish. But so far, all these economic systems can be corrupted very quickly. And then there is socialism. Socialism is when the government regulates businesses and the economy. Basically, the government is in control of some of it. Sometimes the government controls entire sectors of the economy, with profits going to government coffers. So, government-regulated business. Which can also be corrupted very easily. To be fair, all economic anything can be corrupted very easily. It sucks. But if there is a government, a communism, aka equal suffering for everyone. But this is why when people say, oh, you're, all these people are socialists, people don't actually understand what socialism is. Socialism is the government controlling business and economy, and that's never going to happen in this society. The government is not ever going to be able to control the economy and take profits to the government. Weirdly enough, they probably need to do that right now, that the way late-stage capitalism is going. But we just need a societal upheaval, goddammit. Anyway, and then there is corporatism, which is probably something we're also having to deal with a little bit. Corporatism. Private corporations control governments that help put in power. Oh no, we don't really have this. But private corps control governments that they help put in power. Or maybe we kind of do, actually. Fangy. Also, you can hop into a VC if you want. I'm not there. But yes, they can completely supplant the government. They take over services of the government used to provide, such as education. Okay, we're not that bad. Corporations control government. Yeah, we're not quite that bad yet. Although we do have a lot of little puppet figures in the government being handled by corporations, I'm sure. Because corporations are who fund some government officials, but it's fine. But the corporations themselves do not have the power. So we're not that bad. I would say we're mostly just free market, and free market does not help. Pants! Stay for the sippy! Let me get some water. How? You guys are starting to learn a lot about my political views here. And my political views are, anything can be corrupted super easy because people in power like to corrupt stuff, so they stay in power. And that's it. That's my political view. Which is why the power needs to be distributed in a way where they can't do that. But that's very hard to do. Especially considering we are not used to a system that doesn't exploit people. We have literally had a system of government that exploits people in some way since society fucking started. As sucky as that sounds, it's sadly true. Alright, legal systems. Legal systems! The legal system is related to a society's government and economy. Basically, they all hold hands. For example, a military dictatorship will have a very different legal system than a direct democracy, because a dictatorship can just choose whatever the fuck he wants, while a democracy says, no, we don't want that, we don't vote for that. The legal system in a corporatist economy will have stronger punishments for theft than the legal system in a socialist economy. Societies have different ways of enforcing laws and determining guilt or innocence. This section provides examples of both. Alrighty, so, types of... Okay, so we have, legal enforcers, first and foremost. I'm gonna nibble a burger, don't mind me. How? Nibble, nibble. So, legal enforcers. There's something called a watch. And you will find this a lot in neighborhoods. I'm sure you've seen signs as you've driven through neighborhoods, especially in the US, where it's like, neighborhood watch is on patrol or whatever. That's a watch system where people will volunteer to stand out, watch over areas, and make sure that nothing crazy is happening. So, volunteer watchmen. And like I said, the neighborhood watch is pretty close to that. Secret police? Oh shit, we're getting a spy family now? So, secret police is an organization with the full backing and resources of the government, but acts covertly and outside of the law. So, kind of like the FBI? Not quite. Kind of. Not quite. I'm trying to think of a good example, but yes, the secret police is an organization. Oh, it's the CIA. Yes, I'm thinking CIA. It sounds more like Welcome to Night Vale. But yes, Spy X Family has a secret police as well. But yes, it's a government run, but it's secret, but outside of the law. So they can kind of do less than legal things to get their shit done if it means stopping some crazy shit. So that's what a secret police is. Vigilante! There's a vigilante group? I love vigilante stuff. Vigilantes. This is kind of like Punisher. An individual or a group who carries out law enforcement or punishment without legal authority. Basically, they're not backed by the government. And Batman! Batman's a vigilante. Here, I'm just gonna put Batman. Batman. Vigilantism arises when people think the official legal system is inadequate. Yeah, people start doing civilian justice. They start doing their version of justice. And then there's bounty hunters. We also have bounty hunters. I don't know if we have vigilantes, but we definitely have bounty hunters. And that's people who are hired to pursue criminals and bring them in. We actually do have bounty hunters. They will grab motherfuckers. I am the dog. There you go. We know what a bounty hunter is. I don't have to explain it. Police. Oh, good. The police. So, regular-ass police are an organization with the backing and resources of the government, just like the secret police. However, they are supposed to act within the law to protect citizens. Supposed to. Backed by government, law mandated. Backed by government, law mandated. Basically, follow the law, you dingus. Alright, now let's go look at trials. Ooh! How exactly does the legal system punish your dumbass after you've been brought in? Trial by jury. So, a jury. A jury of the defendant's peers hears evidence and decides if the defendant is innocent or guilty. That's what we do. I wouldn't say police, but I do bite ankles. Yes, but Usagi, you are technically, you're sort of police bounty hunter, sort of. You're like a combo of that, because you are government sanctioned. I said yes. You may bite ankles. You are allowed. You are allowed to bite ankles. But, jury, basically, you put out evidence to show why you're innocent or guilty, and people vote on it. So, group of peers decides innocence. Decides innocence based on... Decides innocence based on evidence. And yeah, we have this. Alrighty. Lubo, trial by combat. You're right. Combat's right underneath that. The defendant and their accuser engage in single combat. If the defendant wins, they are declared innocent. If the defendant loses, they are declared guilty. Fight each other for innocence. There we go. Trial by ordeal. Oh. So trial by ordeal, the defendant is subjected to a painful ordeal, such as walking through fire. If they survive, they are declared innocent. Oh, this is witch hunt shit. Like, whenever they chain them to a chair and toss them into a fucking lake and be like, if you drown, you were innocent. Which is weird as fuck. If you survived, you were a witch. It's like, what? I'm just gonna write witch hunts. Witch trials, kind of. And then bench trial. I see. Oh, the trial is held before a judge who decides on the defendant's guilt or innocence. I know we also have bench trials, but it's for more private stuff, like who gets what in like a divorce. It's kind of like that. Judge decides innocence. Yeah, we still sort of do this. It just depends on the situation. They should have trial by combat like Judge Judy. I'd watch this shit all the time. Hell yeah. Judge Judy, trial by combat, give it to me. Secret trial. These are trials that they hold without people knowing about them. Oppressive regimes often use secret trials to eliminate political opponents. Yes. Not public trials. So basically, no one knows your dumbass just went to trial. Show trial. This is a highly public trial. Public trial. And a social show trial, it's where authorities have already determined the guilt of the defendant. Show trials are held for propaganda purposes. Yes. You've already been determined.
Oh, okay, Fengi. A farewell and goodbye. Wow.
And that's about it. As far as trials go. And it says here, when designing your social structures, consider how elements such as magic and technology affect them. For example, a police force armed with nanobots will operate very differently than one armed with pikes. A bench trial with telepathic judges is different from a bench trial with priests as judges. Basically, if you're a judge and you can read that bitch's mind, that's an easy case.
Just look out for the road. Wow. Thank you for the single biddy. And yes, the little guy. Look at him.
Look at that little Mogus. He's so cute. Alright, I'm also probably going to call it here, because we just finished the social structure, although they didn't cover quite what I have. It might be later on. But let's see, we're going to compare all of this now to the social and cultural pieces that I put down. So for social, I had genders and gender roles, which I don't know if we covered that in this. That's technology. That's magic. That's animals. That's blank. That's world building. Okay, so yeah, we never covered anything to do with like gender and gender roles. Maybe it'll be in there later, as well as sexualities. But we did cover social hierarchy, which here they called it social stratification. That's what it is. And then symbiotic species is something I had as well, and parasitic species. Although that should probably go in biology now that I'm looking at it. I might actually just remake my template, because This has given me insight. And then there's pets for social, festivals, because I consider holidays and birthdays and all that social as well. Although it could technically be cultural, but I consider it socio-cultural. Familial structure, we covered that as well, how marriages happen. Where is it? Yeah, right here. Love and relationships, basically courtship and marriage, how it all is handled. How family is handled, right here, family structure. Is it matrilineal or matrilogical, local, bleh, and patrilocal, all that good stuff. And then I have funeral as well as trading, which, I guess. I also have alliances for the culture itself and the kingdom, as well as what they're warring with. That's just for story purposes. And then here we covered government, which let me look at my culture real quick. I have government as well. And then there's economy. I also have economy right here. And then, oh, legal systems. I have education, I have laws, but I don't have a legal system. I could put that down. And then what the trials are, what the enforcers are and what the trials are. That'd be okay. That would flesh it out a little bit. But other than that, I do have all of that down. Legal system. And then I'm gonna scroll through here. Next week, we're gonna be covering something called values and ethics. It's going to be discussing creating a culture for fictional society by focusing on values and ethics. Basically, people's core values. So I'm going to call it there, but that was fun. I had an enjoying time reading this stuff. The legal system commits arson in the background. No, fucking no, fire, stamp. No more fire. So let's hop on over here. Hello. It is I, Desmond Dracula. Desmond D. Dracula, as people say now. So I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna look like myself again. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna look like myself again. Ha. I miss this face. So, hello. Hey, let me, gonna walk around in my cafe. Hold on, let's see if I can actually make it look like I'm in my cafe. Like, just standing here. Hello. There we go. Hello. I am in the cafe. I am, don't mind me, I'm just standing next to the counter. Let me, walk closer to the counter. There we go. I'm not behind it. I'm in front of it right now. But yes, thank you all. I'm running. Thank you all so much for being here today and listening to me talk about dumb shit. Where? He's just standing there. Menacingly. Hi, how are you? And boo. How's it going? Alright, I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna get out your face. And let's go raid. Let's go raid out somewhere. Who are we dropping on? Where are we dropping, boys? Ow, I have a little itch. Okay, I'm good. Oh, Zebber, hello! I was just about to raid out. How you doing? Yes, we are just about to head on out of here. I'm trying to find someone who isn't playing a game that I want to play, because just in case you guys don't want to get spoiled. Good, been lurking, just got back from class. Nice! I'm also gonna move this. There we go. So, who are we dropping on? Do you guys want to watch... Do you guys want to watch Slime Rancher 2? I want to play Slime Rancher 2. But I don't know how far you guys have seen Slime Rancher, the new one, because I don't want it spoiled. But I do plan on getting it soon, by the way. I do plan on playing it. Okay, Slime Rancher 2. Let's go peek in on another bat, by the way. They are also... She's also going to be joining me for the bat collab, I believe. Let me go peek in and make sure that is the case before I before I make that assumption. But I'm pretty sure I saw her on the roster as well. Because I don't want to be a liar. What? All right, where is that sheet? Because I reblogged it. Blogged it? Fuck. I retweeted it. Ah, yeah, there she is. Bly. She is a part of the thing. Whoa.
Now this is my Bitcoin.
Link, take this Bitcoin. You can use it to buy NFTs. I hear they're the dopest shit in town right now.
Growl,
Grandpa Raul,
you just got scammed.
What?
What? Grandpa Raul, you just got scammed. What?
I only bought it for $25,000. The young man who sold it to me said it was quality.
Raul,
Grandpa,
that's
you just wasted your
just
money.
wasted your money. Yeah. Anyway, let's go drop in on Bly, the sweet Bato. If you guys would like to spam a raid message at her, there you go. There's some tea time. If you don't have the tea time emote, that is perfectly fine. You can grab the bat rave. Let's go see a bat. Eek, eek, eek. Bats, bats, we are the bats. Bats, bats, we are the bats. But yes, let's all get ready to go raid the cute battle. God damn it, my clip. Oh, right, that's something I want to do. So I wanted to watch my old clips for my debut, but I didn't get to. So I'm gonna do that for my 1 year. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. So for my 1 year anniversary, which is happening January 10th, we'll just watch my old clips and see how far I've come. Is this Donkey Kong Country? Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna do some games. I don't know which one I want to grab yet. I love Stardew Valley, but I don't want to, like, be too monotonous, I guess. There's also a few games that I can pick up. But I will see you guys then. Bye-bye. Bye.